Welcome to capacity-filled Quest Stadium in Seattle with the first-place Seahawks taking on the Miami Dolphins. The NFC West has St. Louis and Seattle tied. Right now, the Rams are losing in Buffalo. Thank you for joining us with Randy Cross, Kevin Harlan. Let's talk about the inconsistent Seahawks. What has been their problem?
Well, the problem really has been consistency, and I think a lot of it's been toughness related. Today, Matt Hasselbeck will not start. Trent Dilfer is going to bring a calm, I think, to the quarterback position. But more importantly for the Seattle Seahawks team, rely on the NFL's #1 rusher in Sean Alexander. Give him the ball. Let him define that toughness you need.
1-8 Miami has made a change at their head coaching position.
And hopefully they've also made a change for their sake and not making so many mistakes, not getting so many penalties. Jim Bates wants more enthusiasm out of his team. Let's take a look at my cross-talk points here for both these teams. First of all, for the Miami Dolphins, so what's new? And let's see what is new. Are we going to see all the same kind of mistakes we've seen out of the Dolphins? And for Sean Alexander and the Seahawks, you'll be #1 today if by land and running. You'll be #2 if you rely on passing, Mike Holmgren.
It is a gorgeous day here in the Pacific Northwest. We're just under 50 degrees. There is a slight breeze. And the sun now beginning to break out on this partly cloudy day in beautiful Seattle. Mike Holmgren is the coach in his 6th year with the Seahawks. They started the season with 3 straight wins, then lost 3 straight games. They have won 2 of their last 3. They lost last week in St. Louis 23-12. The Miami Dolphins are coming off a bye week. They've lost 2 straight, losing a couple of weeks ago to Arizona 24-23. Olindo Mare, who has missed the last handful of games because of an injury, is ready to kick off. And deep back for Seattle is Kerry Carter. The Dolphins and the Seahawks, and here we go. And this is a short kick that is retrieved by Sean Locklear, a rookie defensive lineman, and a 12-yard return, and he takes it out just beyond the 30-yard line. #7 offense of Seattle quarterback Trent Dilfer makes his first start in 2 years for the injured Matt Hasselbeck. Right tackle Floyd Womack starts for Chris Terry, who is inactive today. And the great Jerry Rice will start at wide receiver for Corn Robinson. From the 31-yard line, the Seahawks, and there is a bit of haze because of all the fireworks before the game. Hand off to the NFL's leading running back. That's Sean Alexander, tackled by Zach Thomas. He's out to the 35, and he picks up 4. Miami's defense #1 in defending the pass this season. Defensive end Jason Taylor is the Dolphins' all-time sack leader. Linebacker Zach Thomas leads Miami's in tackles again this year. And safety Arturo Freeman replaces the recently waived Antoine Edwards. It is 2nd down and 6 from the 35. And Dilfer with his first pass, and that is caught by Darrell Jackson. He's to the 47-yard line. He is tackled by Knight and by Surtain. It is a gain of 17 and a Seattle first down.
And Trent Dilfer can bring that calm to an offense right now that I talked about, but he can't catch the ball too. And that's something that Jackson and Rice and every one of these receivers for the Seattle Seahawks has had a problem with. Corn Robinson also fighting the ball. Key drops in situations just like that. That's a good signal for the Seahawks that they catch the first one.
From the Dolphin 48, 1st and 10. Sean Alexander got by Arturo Freeman, then belted by Zach Thomas. And he is out of bounds at about the 43 on a gain of 5.
You know, on the AFC side, you see Big Willie Rowe for Kansas City all the time pulling out and running. Look at 71 right here. Look at Walter Jones. Stays with Jason Taylor, stays with him, and drills him into the ground. That's the kind of blocking you get that will make you the #1 rusher in the NFL. And I'm really kind of surprised. I thought they'd do more business inside than outside against this offense. With that kind of blocking, you can run anywhere.
Will Poole is an extra defensive back. There are 4 receivers, 2nd down and 5. And Dilfer again right on the money to the 35-yard line. A catch by Jerry Rice. He then slides to the 34. He was brought down on the play by Reggie Howard. A gain of 9. Another Seattle first down.
Watch the veteran's body and how he positions himself between the quarterback and Howard, the defensive back. See him turn that 80, the numbers to the quarterback. there's nothing Howard can do besides come over the top, and he didn't do it. Good reception, nice throw.
First down and 10 from the 34, the quick count, and it's Sean Alexander, and he is tackled by Zach Thomas after a gain of 6, falling ahead to the 28-yard line. StatTrax will keep you updated on today's game stats and can be seen coming out of the upper part of the screen. And updated scores and information of other games is called Game Tracks, seen in the lower portion of the screen. Second down 4 from the 28. Dan Alexander again, who played at Alabama, crossing the 25 and tackled by Moreland Greenwood and Jess Scanina. It is a gain of 4 and very close to a Seattle first down.
Here's the area that I think the Seattle Seahawks can do the most business. There's Zach Thomas getting ready to fill, but with your two guards, Hutchinson and Gray, man on man, Max Strong man on man with Zach Thomas inside. It's a big advantage. You've got inside Romero, former Eastern Washington player, kind of a homecoming from Romero, 94, and Scanina, who are not as big as the normal tackles.
It is a first down. They're at the 24, a couple tight ends, and there is a handoff to Alexander, who is quickly brought down by Eddie Moore, a high draft pick. It's a loss of 3, and he's back to the 28-yard line. Moore is out of Tennessee 2 years ago.
That's something, Kevin, you see all the time from a quicker, more mobile defense, is that ability to get across the line of scrimmage and disrupt a running play. Matt Hasselbeck sitting this game out. Bruised right quadricep, bruised ribs, and today the 3rd quarterback. Very significant, and if we should get an injury to Trent Dilfer.
8th play of the drive. This is the game-opening drive. They began at their 31, and it's a handoff to Sean Alexander, and look at him bust free in the secondary. Brought down by a host of defenders, including Sammy Knight. It's a gain of 16. And they'll spot him at the 12-yard line. 6 carries and 31 yards for Sean Alexander.
Watch this block right here by Hutchinson, the left guard. Combination comes off, gets on Zach, stays, blocks. Good surface right now by the offensive line of Seattle, staying with the defenders of Miami.
12-yard line, first down, and Alexander bumping into Walter Jones. That slowed him up, and then Brian Robinson devours him back at the 16-yard line. And so on this drive, Randy, a 17-yard completion to Darrell Jackson, 9 yards to Rice, and a 16-yard run by Sean Alexander. As we take a look at Matt Hasselbeck, not playing today, and on this early play against St. Louis last week, he bumps his knee on the handoff to Alexander.
Yeah, right knee, right at the bottom of the quad, above the kneecap there, that meaty part of the muscle. And Hasselbeck just could not practice at all this week. Had to go with Dilfer.
They got Neely in motion from the 16-yard line. They say that Womack was jumping, and a flag is thrown.
Offense number 80, 5-yard penalty. It's still second down.
So that was 2nd and 14, much to the chagrin of Mike Holmgren. Now 2nd down and 19 yards to go.
A little picture into the frustrations of Mike Holmgren in this offense from last week. When you looked at the game tape of this game between Seattle and St. Louis last week, Seattle lived in St. Louis's territory on their side of the 50, made mistakes, had turnovers, had to settle for field goals. You don't build momentum settling for field goals.
2 tight ends, 2nd down 19. They've got to get to the 3, and the handoff fake going to Morris, and Dilfer rears back and throws. Jerry Rice has caught a touchdown. Touchdown number 206.
Tell you, Jerry Rice catches the ball, gets in position for this pass, folks. That pass is made by Trent Dilfer. Watch it come zipping in. Sure, Jerry's open, but an absolute laser thrown by Dilfer, the perfect spot. And I still say, and have for a long time, I think he's the greatest football player that's ever played this game. That includes everybody. I don't care what era.
Josh Brown's extra point. Jerry Rice has caught now 195 touchdown receptions, but 206 total. An excited Trent Dilfer in his first start in 2 years.
Congratulations! You've launched the pink slip virus. Your office is now infected. They'll soon trace it back to you. Good luck finding a new job.
Want to get away? Just go to Southwest.com for Southwest Airlines $39 to $149 internet specials to 59 destinations nationwide.
You are now free to move about the country.
Introducing Gillette M3 Power. Turn on Gillette's first battery-powered shaving system. Micropulses raise the hair so you shave closer. Feel the power of the world's best shave. New M3 Power from Gillette.
SpongeBob, you're late! Don't you know what a watch is?
Sure I do. Watch me. Watch this.
Watch out!
Watch out. That's a good one, Patrick.
SpongeBob watches only at BK. $1.99 each with any value meal.
Have it your way.
So just when I'm thinking, isn't there a car out there I could get excited about? Wham! There's this car with all this stuff. Then as I'm thinking, now here's a car I could see myself in. Wham! There's this other car with all this stuff. Two cars, the same, yet different. Kind of like those twins I met in Chicago.
The Mazda 3 and Mazda 3 5-door. Rethink what's possible.
Okay, let's try this one. What does 4 plus 4 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 2 plus 4 plus 3 equal? Sarah.
3 under par.
Boys and Girls Club.
Very good.
Proudly supported by the PGA Tour and its tournaments.
The Seattle Seahawks are coming off a game where they didn't score a touchdown last week in St. Louis in the loss to the Rams. Jerry Rice just caught a 21-yard laser from Trent Dilfer. And the incomparable 42-year-old Jerry Rice and Dilfer with a nice-looking opening game drive leading 7-0.
Jerry Rice has been a huge influence on this offense, bringing that experience and how you act as a pro to the Seattle Seahawks offense. And what a thrill it's got to be for these younger players.
Josh Brown with his subsequent kickoff, and deep back is Wes Welker at the 8-yard line looking into that Washington sun. And up the middle he goes before he is brought down by Kudavides, who is a nice-looking young linebacker, and the gain is up to the 36. It is a return of 27 yards. Trent Dilfer on that drive, 3 of 3. Well orchestrated, well led.
Good call.
Legal use of the hand truck.
Here, honey.
Thank you.
Good morning. Let's talk about the going to be doing something much more the same over the next couple of days. You might want to do some hard work. The weather situation. Okay, here's your ticket.
Thank you.
Stay cool however you can and make sure that call me when you get there.
I will.
Tired of waiting for your reward? With Thank You from Citi, you get great rewards that are easy to earn, easy to redeem. That's a card you can count on.
When we forged the frame rails of the new Ford Super Duty with thicker gauge steel than any other pickup, we gave it more payload than any other pickup. 5,800 pounds. Who's your daddy now? This is the next Ford Super Duty. Built Ford tough.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 39. T-Mobile, get more minutes, more features, more service. And by Miller, there's good enough and there's better than it has to be. Miller, good call.
Beautiful cityscape. John Bruno, our photographer, got that for us. Jerry Rice has just caught a touchdown pass on the opening drive of the game by the Seahawks. The subsequent kickoff takes Miami to the 35. It's 1st and 10, and A.J. Feely hands off to Sammy Morris, who is brought down on the play by Orlando Ruff. That is a 4-yard gain, and he's up to about the 38-yard line.
Here's Jerry Rice. Here's Sammy Knight. Watch what Sammy Knight goes back like this. Jerry Rice comes and Sammy Knight undercuts him. And when he undercuts him, Jerry Rice is wide open for that touchdown. Can't get back and help quick enough. Nice throw by Dilfer.
There are 2 tight ends, including Lee. It's 2nd down and 7 from the 38. dropped, another drop. That was to the aforementioned tight end Donald Lee. It'll be 3rd down and 7. Let's talk about quarterback A.J. Feely, who makes his 3rd Dolphin start today, his first since week 3. Rookie left guard Rex Hadnot makes his first NFL start today for the injured Geno James. And tight end Randy McMichael leads the Dolphins in receptions. 3rd and 7, they've got to get to the 45.
In a lot of ways, that rookie lineman starting and A.J. Feely sort of typify this team. What can the new guys do?
3rd receiver Darius Thompson. Here comes the rush on Feely. Gets away from Wistrom. Look at the time as he throws over the head of McMichael. There is a flag on the play, and you think it's holding.
When you see a defensive end go down the way Grant Wistrom did, it's usually because he was assisted. It's going to be holding.
Mike Carey is our referee today.
Damian McIntosh, the left tackle.
Tripping, offense number 77. Hitting the defender in the back of the leg with his leg. Penalty is declined. Brings up 4th down.
Yeah, Damian McIntosh puts the old scissors. Puts the scissor move on him. Watch his leg, 77 right there. Scissor 1, scissor 2. That's a leg whip into the back of the legs of Wistrom. It's a nice call from the sideline.
3 and out for the Miami Dolphins, and Matt Turk, a 10-year veteran who is averaging 41 yards per punt, will boot it. And the young Maurice Morris, a couple years out of Oregon, back at about the 10-yard line for the Seahawks as he gets under a high-hanging punt at the 18-yard line, then brought down. Jeremiah Bell immediately down there. And Jim Bates watches with enthusiasm a 44-yard Turk punt, a 1-yard return. A Trent Dilfer touchdown pass to lead things off here in the Pacific Northwest. Incomplete recaps from all of today's NFL games, including insight from CBS Sportsline's NFL experts, only at CBSSportsline.com with Randy Cross, Kevin Harlan. 2nd possession for the Seahawks. 1st and 10 from their 19. And Sean Alexander running out of bounds and hit out of bounds. There's a flag. Jason Taylor had the last whack on him on a gain of 2 to the affable Sean Alexander.
Yeah, it was a good Canadian Football League hit. Unfortunately, our field's a little narrower.
We're not that far from Canada.
No, that's about a good swim.
That's right.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness. And the defense, number 99, from the dead ball spot, 15 yards, automatic. First down.
99, Jason Taylor coming in from the outside. Sean Alexander is clearly out of bounds. There's a lot of accumulated frustration in that, I think, for Jason Taylor, too. It's been a long season of no support for this Miami defense.
Will Poole is an extra defensive back for the Miami Dolphins. As the ball is now at the 38-yard line for the Seahawks, who scored on their opening drive on a 21-yard touchdown pass, Dilfer to Rice.
Moved it back a yard to the 37.
The 37-yard line. In the backfield is Maurice Morris, 3 years out of Oregon. And the pitch out to Morris with the block from Womack. And a tackle from behind by the aforementioned Will Poole. It's a gain of 3, and he's out to the 40-yard line.
That's one thing I think that Miami's going to find looking at Seattle. And I mentioned Kansas City because I think there's a pretty good analogy between the two running games. The very physical, movement-oriented offensive line, and a running back that, when he makes a decision, has the speed and ability to take it to the house every time he touches it.
The 4th receiver is Jeremy Urban. 2nd down and 7. They've got to get to the 47. And here is Dilfer. Nice catch on the side, and the coverage by Poole, and it was dropped, they say, or we say he was down. He was caught, he was down, and the catch made by Bobby Ingram, who's traveled around. Longtime Chicago Bear. It's a gain of 6. It is a catch to the 47-yard line.
If this is indeed a catch, this is a Bobby Ingram kind of play. It's in. Ball is out after he hits the ground. It's raked out.
So incomplete is what they're ruling now. They're pushing it back to the 40.
So it never really stops moving. Once you hit the ground, you've got to show that you've maintained control of that ball.
Miami now will line up with 5 in the secondary, and the Seahawks playing the first of 3 consecutive home games. Have it 3rd and 7. Again, got to get to the 47-yard line.
A play I'm surprised Seattle isn't better at in this kind of situation is the screen, Kevin.
Max Strong is in the backfield. He can catch that screen pass. There's some movement, and flags are all over the field.
False start. Offense number 77.
That's
5-yard penalty. It's still 3rd down.
Seattle is the least penalized team in the NFL coming into today with only 39 penalties called on them. And a look at the AFC West where Miami, or the AFC East where Miami is in the cellar at 1-8. And the Jets had their 3rd fourth-quarter comeback win this season.
That'll put all that late call stuff from last week to rest. Hopefully for Herman Edwards and his staff.
I would say it would. The receivers are Ingram, Rice, Jackson, and Jeremy Urban. 3rd and 12. In the backfield, they've got Strong, who gets the pitch. He's 12 years out of Georgia, and he is hit once in a fumble on the play. And the ball is down at the 35. Now who got it? And there were all kinds of Dolphins in there, including Sam Madison, who I think had the initial hit. Miami thinks they've got it. Their body language would tell you as such as they continue to unravel the bodies, and it is Miami's ball. The Dolphins are a miserable -15 in the takeaway giveaway. Seattle is +8.
What disrupted that play was Sam Madison getting into the backfield along with Sammy Knight coming across the line of scrimmage, or Patrick Surtain getting into the backfield. Then it was Madison. No blocking, disrupted the play, stripped the ball. Just what Jim Bates wanted from his defense today. It's something that Miami has not gotten on a regular basis this year, are those turnovers. And being the former defensive coordinator now, he's pretty excited.
So they begin with outstanding field position at the Seahawk 35. 2 tight ends, one of which McMichael is in motion. The fake handoff by Feely to Morris, and Feely throws, and it's caught 20-yard line. And the grab is made by Marty Booker. He was tapped in the back by Chad Brown. A gain of 15 yards, 20-yard line, 1st and 10 Miami.
Marty Booker would be a weapon that they really haven't used enough this year. There's been some injuries. He's had a hamstring. He's had an ankle. After he came over in that Wally Ogunleye trade, it really seemed like they'd be using him a lot more.
Morris in the backfield on 1st and 10. Wistrom from behind leaps on him and brings him down for a loss of 2 back to the 22-yard line. Grant, the 6-year former St. Louis Ram, is back hale and hearty after breaking a small bone in his leg.
And are the coaches happy in Seattle? Because this defense and its production, especially up front, steadily declined in the weeks he was gone. They need his spark and his speed. The rest of the defensive linemen seem to play off his ability to make the big plays.
It is 2nd down and 12. And Sammy Morris breaks a tackle avoided and goes out of bounds, colliding with Vieira, and is close to a 1st down for the Miami Dolphins. A 13-yard gallop. He's inside the 10, mark him at the 9. 1st and goal for Jim Bates and his Dolphin offense.
In talking to the Miami players, the one thing they mentioned that was pretty uniform was the ability to really get enthusiasm back into their game this week. Last 2 weeks in practice since Dave Wanstead stepped down, they've had an ability in practice to really focus and get enthusiasm back, get some happiness, some fun back into the game.
2 tight ends from the 9. 1st and goal. Sammy Morris broke 1 tackle of Hamlin and is drilled by Ken Lucas at about the 7-yard line. And that is a gain of 2. 2nd down and goal. Rams losing in Buffalo today, so they drop, as we stand right now, a half game in back of 1st place Seattle. So a pretty important game for the Seattle Seahawks.
I want to mention real quick, follow up what I said about Wanstead stepping down. You know, the whole idea Dave did that for was because he figured he was such a big distraction, it would take that away from the players. They could loosen up and keep playing. Players said it worked pretty well.
2 tight ends, 2nd down, goal at the 7. Here comes Feely, whacked as he throws, incomplete. And he was drilled by O'Keefer on that defensive line. A flag is down on the far sideline at the 9. Miami getting this great field position on a fumble, and they began this at the Seattle 35-yard line. Game's 1st turnover.
The illegal formation. Offense, number 77 was on the end of the line with an ineligible number. The penalty is declined, brings up third down.
It is Damian McIntosh, the starting left tackle.
And that's basically on the receivers. It's not on Damian. It's called on Damian, but it means the receiver wasn't close and didn't step up on the line of scrimmage, was off the line. McIntosh had not reported.
Now some changing personnel. They're going to put in 2 more defensive backs, so 6 will be in the secondary. Bulwer and Richard now come in for the Seattle Seahawks. It is 3rd and goal at the 7. Miami with the 2 tights. They've got now Travis Minor in the backfield. Chambers on the move, and Feely will run it, and he is in for the touchdown. A.J. Feely with his first rushing touchdown of the season, a 7-yard run, and Miami an extra point away from tying the game. They cash in on the fumble by the Seahawks.
See a reverted pocket? Watch this. Little inverted pocket. Here's the pocket, completely empty. Not a blue shirt in it. Feely just takes a little cotton candy away from the Seattle Seahawks. That's a gimme.
That is only the 4th rushing touchdown for the Dolphins this season, as the Maude extra point is up and in. The first rushing touchdown in the career of young A.J. Feely, and we're tied at 7.
Fresh. Subway. Eat fresh. And by Ford. 6 all-new vehicles, each built for the road ahead.
On their second drive today, the Miami Dolphins recovered a Max Strong fumble at the Seahawk 35, and 6 plays later, the first career rushing touchdown to quarterback A.J. Feely. We're tied at 7. Jerry Rice got a touchdown to begin the game. And so the Orlando Maude kickoff, and a tie game early, and it's caught by former Stanford Cardinal Kerry Carter. And he is brought down by Jeremiah Bell and Ian Benazio as he takes it out to the 28-yard line and a 16-yard return.
You're watching the NFL on CBS.
Miami just scored in a rushing touchdown by their young quarterback. Seattle began the game with a touchdown. Here now, third drive, 28-yard line, 1st and 10. The handoff goes to Alexander, brought down by Zach Thomas, among others. The flag is down into the 30-yard line, picking up a little more than 2.5, maybe 3 yards.
Holding. Offense number 62. 10-yard penalty, remains first down.
That's 12-year veteran right guard Chris Gray. All right, some of the scores from today, Randy.
Good theme here on the left side. All these games are AFC over the NFC. Say what you will, right now, class of the football being played in this league is on the AFC side, and I think a majority of that's responsible for the quarterback position.
There are 5 Miami defensive backs. It is 1st and 20. They got to get to the 38. Here comes Dilfer moving up niftily in the pocket and chased by Jason Taylor, then cracked by Sammy Knight, who was a missile from the side. An 11-yard run by the 11-year veteran Trent Dilfer. Is out to the 29-yard line.
We saw the calm that Trent Dilfer brought early in the game, and you just saw a little bit of the spit and fire that the veteran brings. And really, honestly, it's something Seattle needs. They need a little fire. This is about the most unenthusiastic, non-pulsed winning team I've been around. I mean, this is a team that needs a jolt.
2nd down and 9. The NFL's leading rusher is Sean Alexander, and he takes it into a Dolphin pile. Moreland Greenwood among many to make the stop. It's a gain of 5. He's near the 34.
You know, for Mike Holmgren, this year was big from the very beginning. And the number of players I talked to over the weekend, they all said the same thing, that there's a lot of pressure around here. And there's different ways of dealing with pressure. In a lot of ways, I think Seattle's trying to be too good. They're trying to be too fine with everything. Let it loose, let it go. Just sort of swing from the heels. The talent they've got here, especially on offense, you swing from the heels, you're going to connect to the chin a lot.
6 in the secondary, 4 receivers, 3rd and 4 as he throws complete to Darrell Jackson. Dilfer hits Jackson, who corkscrews his way past the 45. And he is belted out of bounds on the far side by Sammy Knight. Gain of 14 on 3rd and 4. A first down for Seattle.
Coming across the formation of the defense. Watch Jackson come from the left side of your screen. There he goes underneath. And with these talented guys, especially Jackson, Corin Robinson, and a guy like Jerry Rice around to tell you exactly how it's been done for the last couple decades, you should be able to do some pretty special things offensively.
First down, still 5 in the secondary for Miami at the 48-yard line. And Dilfer on 1st and 10, winding up, going deep and looking for Jackson. There's a flag, and it's going to be thrown on Reggie Howard, a guy who started the Super Bowl a season ago for the Carolina Panthers. That is costly. Howard came as a free agent.
Well, but to see the hand over the head there, that's the coach is saying it was uncatchable.
You know, Sam Madison was the first one over there pleading the case of his teammate.
Was it uncatchable if he doesn't run flat out full speed, lay out? I mean, if you can get anywhere near it, it can't qualify as uncatchable.
This is Seattle's 3rd possession today. A 21-yard touchdown pass to Rice. They fumbled the last time they had it, which set up a Miami touchdown.
Pass interference. Defense number 25. Grabbing the receiver's arm. Spot foul. Automatic first down.
Don't confuse illegal contact with pass interference. Illegal contact past the 5 yards doesn't apply here. Grabbing the arm earlier in the play there, before the ball came in there, is what was called by the officials sitting right behind this play.
It's a 35-yard penalty in essence, and they're down to the 17-yard line.
In essence, you can't touch a receiver in this league anymore.
17-yard line, 1st and 10. Sean Alexander hit by Jay Williams and by Sammy Knight. It's a gain of 3. He's just inside the 15-yard line. Tuesday on CBS, The Amazing Race is off to a running start. Critics are already saying it's as thrilling as ever. In this global competition, it's not how far they go, but what happens along the way. Don't miss the new Amazing Race. That's Tuesday at 9, 8 Central on CBS. 2nd down and 8, and they've got to get inside the 7.
Talked about their trouble in the red zone, which is kind of hard to believe when you've got the leading rusher in the NFL and you're in the red zone. Play action and passing should be a lot easier.
Mealy, the tight end, is in motion. 2nd down and 8. Good block by Womack, and the pass dropped by Jackson at the 7-yard line. And a pretty good coverage on the play by Patrick Surtain. They're going to Ingram inside.
In some positions, this is still a very strong defense. You look at the corners. You talked about Howard. You know, you've got Surtain, you've got Madison, you've got Zach at middle linebacker, Zach Thomas. You've got Jason Taylor at defensive end. But they've just slowly but surely, especially inside at defensive tackle, been eaten away by injuries, and it's really helped them. Hurt them, I mean.
Seattle has taken a timeout with 1:22 to play in the first quarter, but they are in scoring range right now. Monday on CBS, Dave's All New with Stupid Pet Tricks, plus Colin Farrell. And later this week, don't miss an all-new Thanksgiving late show with a visit from Dave's mom. This week on CBS. Seattle in the midst of their 3rd possession. They've run a lot of plays so far. This one, Randy, began back at their 28.
And helped by that 35-yard pass interference penalty.
And Dilfer's 11-yard run.
Well, the penalty gave him the yards. The run gave him a little spit and fire. And this is the situation, though, when you get in here, you're at home, and Seattle is at home now, 5 of their last 7 games. You score and you build momentum. And when you score, you don't kick field goals, you kick touchdowns, just like last time.
7 defensive backs, 3rd down and 8. Rice, Jackson, Ingram, Urban are the wide receivers in the backfield. They've got Jackson, and the pass goes short and low, and it's incomplete. Darrell Jackson in the sights. Zach Thomas was in the vicinity.
That just came out of Trent Dilfer's hand. See him just kind of laughing and giving an explanation briefly to the other guys on the offense.
So Miami's defense stops the drive. They keep Seattle out of the end zone and relegate Mike Holmgren's Seahawks to a 3-point try.
I know one thing. That last play, Miami was not going to let Jerry Rice catch another touchdown. They had him doubled over the top. Big.
Well, here is Josh Brown. He has made 13 consecutive field goals. This will be a 33-yard try. He had 4 last week in St. Louis. He's now made 14 straight. For the second time today, Seattle has a lead. 10-7 with 1:13 to play in the first over Miami. Seattle has scored on 2 of their 3 possessions today. Brown nailed a 33-yard field goal moments ago. The kickoff 5-yard line, Wes Welker for the Miami Dolphins. And from behind, Kudavides brings him down at the 36-yard line for Seattle. A 32-yard Wesley Welker return. Let's talk about the Seattle defense. Number 15 in the NFL. Defensive end Grant Wistrom comes back from an injury. He fractured a bone in his knee. Linebacker Chad Brown will start today, even though injured and not practicing all week long. And quarterback Ken Lucas has 4 interceptions, amongst the best in the NFL coming into this week. It is 1st and 10 just beyond the 35-yard line. A.J. Feely, who ran in a touchdown the last possession, again with great time, throws incomplete. Conrad was looking left. The ball went right. It's 2nd down and 10.
Got a flag drop down.
That's right.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 56 of the defense. Extending the arms and knocking the quarterback to the ground. 15-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
Chike O'Keefer.
All happens at the end.
Ooh. Took a playbook page, it looks like, right out of the Detroit Piston Indiana Pacer game.
Yeah, please.
Shot.
No, please.
That looked like Ben Wallace.
Give me a
Ben Wallace pushing.
Give him a skirt. That's ridiculous.
First
but that's our league now. You just don't touch the quarterback.
That's exactly
you got to know that. Ball's gone, don't touch him.
Every Sunday you say the same thing. 49-yard line with the penalty. It is a first down. Donald Lee, the tight end in motion. Blocking for Sammy Morris. He runs into a pile, and then Marcus Trufant makes the stop after a meager gain of 2 down to the 47-yard line.
See, between the return, a penalty, this is another positive possession for the Miami Dolphins offense. And this is, if Jim Bates had a best case scenario, he was going to get his offense some confidence early. He knows his defense has had some confidence during the season, but get some confidence for your offense. It's something this team just flat has not had this entire season.
2nd and 8, they got to get to the 39. Conrad was the wingback on the side, and the pass is off on the side to Conrad, who caught a touchdown pass last week in St. Louis, or rather against 2 weeks ago against Arizona. And now it's a 1 of 5 start for A.J. Feely through the air. It'll be 3rd down.
You know, not much has changed offensively since Bates took over as head coach, though. He has watched all the tape. He meets with the offensive coaches. He meets with the offensive players. He's been more involved in that way. But scheme-wise, things are exactly the same.
Morris in the backfield, 3rd down and 8. Morris provides a block, and A.J. Feely throws, and it's incomplete off the fingertips of Marty Booker. And the coverage on the play by Ken Lucas of Seattle. And so the Miami Dolphins have got to punt again, 3rd, to make it 2nd punt in 3 possessions.
A good example of how Seattle's defense plays well when it's playing well is it's aggressive. Ray Rhodes, their defensive coordinator, I played with Ray Rhodes. I played against Ray Rhodes. This guy is very aggressive. His defense reflects him. When they're at their best, they are attacking an offense.
Maurice Morris is deep back for the Matt Turk punt. That takes a bounce for Seattle and was hit by Minor, and it is finally downed on the side of Travis Minor. And they'll mark the ball at the 24-yard line. It is a 23-yard punt. So another 3 and out for the Miami Dolphins. Friday at 2:30 Eastern, the Home Depot SEC on CBS heats up the holiday when Nick Saban's Bayou Bengals of LSU tangle with the Arkansas Razorbacks. That's coming up Friday after Thanksgiving here on CBS.
Was that college season rounding up to be a train wreck?
Wow.
With 3 undefeated teams at the top.
There's a lot going on, isn't there? 24-yard line. This is the 4th possession for Seattle, and Trent Dilfer, who's thrown a touchdown pass today. It's his tight end Mealy here, who was brought down by Moreland Greenwood. Gain of 4 up to about the 28-yard line. So Miami has scored on a touchdown run by their quarterback Seattle began things with a Jerry Rice touchdown reception. At the end of one, it's 10-7 Seattle. First place Seattle at 5-4 coming into today, coupled with St. Louis's loss in Buffalo, has the Seahawks on top by a half game. Touchdown pass to Rice has been one of the biggest plays so far. We begin the second quarter, 2nd down and 6. And Trent Dilfer taking the place of the injured Matt Hasselbeck with the start today, throwing to Rice, incomplete, the coverage by Reggie Howard. It'll be 3rd and 6.
That's just more of the same. You see the yards we've racked up so far in this first quarter of this game, Kevin. 51 so far running for Seattle, 65 passing. Very balanced in production yards so far in the play calling. More runs than passes, but exactly what you'd expect when you've got a guy like Sean Alexander toting the ball.
5 in the secondary for the Miami Dolphins. It's 3rd and 6, and they've got to get the Seahawks due to the 34-yard line. They've got the 3 receivers deployed. Includes Ingram and Jackson and Strong in the backfield. And here comes Trent Dilfer long on the side and over the fingertips of Jackson. Covered by Arturo Freeman. And it's incomplete, and Seattle is 3 and out for the first time today. That was their 4th possession. And to punt, Donnie Jones. He has been signed on and off the practice squad this season 5 times, waived twice since September.
Surprised he's not wearing a neck brace with all the whiplash.
He's a rookie out of LSU, but he's here punting today in week 11 of the NFL season. And a very high hanging punt. And Welker is back to the 25-yard line. And got a block by Brian Gilmore, and then waylaid out of bounds by Michael Boulware near midfield. And there's some pushing after the play on the sideline. And some separation. And a flag is down, and that was a 22-yard return after a 47-yard Donnie Jones Seattle punt. And there's Jones, and again looks like Miami's going to get very good beginning field position.
Incidental face mask on the kicking team. It's a 5-yard penalty from the dead ball spot. First down.
That's another penalty, the 4th today against the Seahawks.
Jim Bates is still a defensive coach. I'm surprised he doesn't bend his knees and try to get a hit.
He's looking for
you can't hit him when he's down, coach.
From the 47-yard line, Miami's 1st and 10, and A.J. Feely throws outside where it's caught by Chris Chambers. He was tripped up on the wing by Marcus Trufant. It's a gain of 12. It is a first down to the 35-yard line.
That's Chris Chambers' first catch, too. He is a vital part of this offense.
Log on to NFL.com and vote for the 2005 Pro Bowl teams. Your vote counts. Vote today only at NFL.com or NFL at AOL. With Randy Cross, Kevin Harlan, 45-yard line. Great beginning field position today for Miami. This is the 2nd possession where they've started in Seahawk territory. Travis Minor is brought down by Chad Brown after a gain of 3 to the 32.
The early story of this game for the Miami Dolphins against this Seattle defense has been where they've been getting the ball. Look at that. Their own 47, the average field position. You're getting the ball. A.J. Feely making that start today, and this offense has had a little bounce and a little confidence to it. It never hurts to get the ball in a short field.
2nd down, long 7. Miners in the backfield. They've got to get to the 25. Base defense remains for Seattle. Nice block by Minor, but here comes Cedric Woodard chasing A.J. Feely, and Kudavides runs him out of bounds inside the 35. And a scramble to the 33 exactly, and a loss of a yard. So now it'll be 3rd down and a good chunk to go.
And A.J. Feely is very honest about this offense and being as different as it is from his Philadelphia offense with Andy Reid. I mean, the Philadelphia offense very similar to what Mike Holmgren does here in Seattle. And it's been pretty foreign, I think, to A.J. Feely so far this year. But right now at this stage at 1-8, it's less offense and more improv.
6 in the secondary, including Richard and Boulware. 3rd down and 8 from the 33 for A.J. Feely. Here comes the rush by Rocky Bernard. It's intercepted by Antonio Cochran. And Feely is writhing in pain after he was drilled by Rocky Bernard. The interception by Antonio Cochran. That is his second career interception and the first turnover by the Dolphins today.
Rocky Bernard comes completely clean up the middle. It's right in the general area of Rex Hadnot, our rookie offensive guard, and no block and planted.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Wrangler, makers of Wrangler Jeans Company, a new generation of Wrangler. IBM, the official on-demand business consultants for the NFL. And by Aspen Edge. Taste more.
Festive Seattle. The Seahawks on top 10-7. We just saw A.J. Feely come to his feet, and he's being helped off the field, and you can just see right there, I think the picture's worth 1,000 words. I don't think I need to say anything more.
There's the matchup, Bernard and Hadnot right there. Normally you'd hand off a stun inside like this. They go man, Hadnot gets beat, and Feely gets just drilled into this artificial surface.
And Miami gives up outstanding field position as they began that drive in Seattle territory. So on the interception, it's Sean Alexander on 1st and 10, bouncing outside. Finally hit by Zach Thomas, who's over 100 tackles again this year, and he is relegated. Alexander to a 2-yard gain. He's up to the 30, and make it the 29-yard line.
But a heck of a run for his 2 yards. You know, and this Thursday on CBS, you're going to see Detroit, Indy at Detroit. And Detroit's going to honor 3 number 20s, Lem Barney, Billy Sims, and a guy named Sanders.
Yeah.
Barry Sanders.
Pretty good names.
Barry Sanders and Billy Sims made runs kind of like that on a regular basis. You know, highlight film 2-yard runs.
Mealy is in as a tight end. Ingram is coming as a wide receiver. 2nd down, long 8. They got to get near the 38-yard line. Alexander was in the backfield. Look at the time for Dilfer. Caught by the tight end Mealy. Hit by Zach Thomas. Ridden out of bounds after a 1st down catch and run to the 40. 11-yard pickup on the play. And a smiling Trent Dilfer, watching everything kind of going his way early in this game.
Well, when you're not getting pressure, watch the protection. I mean, why ruin it with words? That's why you can unsnap your chin strap and smile at your buddies in the huddle when nobody's getting within 3-4 yards of you.
5 in the secondary for the Dolphins. 1st and 10 from the 40. And nice play by Patrick Surtain, who came shooting through and throws Alexander for a 2-yard loss to the 37.
Good news, bad news here for the Seattle offense. The bad news is you're being attacked by this Miami defense, and they're attacking you from all over. You're blitzing corners, you're blitzing safeties, you're blitzing linebackers. But if you catch them on these plays, you're going to have a gigantic gain. See, the first 4 times they had the ball, that quick drive for the touchdown and that last field goal.
2nd down 12. They got to get to midfield. Alexander is split out as a wide receiver. Strong is in the backfield. Mealy makes another catch. He is grabbed by Sammy Knight, dragged down at the 45-yard line for a 7-yard gain.
Now watch every time Seattle gets to the line of scrimmage. What Jim Bates is basically doing is he is bringing everybody towards the line of scrimmage, and a lot of guys in the proverbial box on 1st and 2nd down. You've almost got 9 people near the line of scrimmage, and what he's telling Mike Holmgren on the other side is, you better beat me with Trent Dilfer, because I don't want Sean Alexander to control this game with the running.
6 in the secondary, 3rd and 5, and here goes Trent Dilfer. The rush from Jason Taylor. Dilfer moves up niftily. It's dropped by Jackson. Nice defense on the play by Surtain. And so after getting the interception off of A.J. Feely, Seattle can do nothing with it. They got to punt it away for a 2nd consecutive possession.
Was this defense or lack of offense? I think that ball just got up on Jackson and he wasn't ready for it. I don't even think that hand ever got in there to knock it away. That's 4 drops right now for Seattle, and that's been the big thing against this offense. The receivers just not focusing on the football and leaving their quarterbacks hanging out to dry.
They had unofficially 30 drops heading into today, and they had a ton last week in St. Louis, did Seattle, and you can see the Dolphin player down.
And you saw Feely on the sideline sort of motion. I think it was to Bates. I'm okay, and went back to get his helmet. He's talking there to Mark Trestman.
Fiedler was warming up on the sideline. We're told it was a right hip injury. It was interesting hearing Bates talk about why he chose the quarterback he did for today. He said, during the off week, I watched every offensive snap on tape. And to make the decision, I thought that our best chance to win was with A.J. Feely coming into today.
He's limping around because all that weight, not only his weight, but also Rocky Bernard's weight, came down on that shoulder and that right hip. And you see Jason Taylor's our injured Miami Dolphin. That's just, if it's got to not be a bad injury. Miami doesn't need another bad injury.
What a season. Timeout.
The new Amazing Race is as thrilling as ever.
This is the map. Can you say anything more than I can? You're a whiner and a complainer. We're number one.
No, we're not.
A new Amazing Race, CBS Tuesday.
Two-time Pro Bowler Jason Taylor is on the sideline. We'll update his situation in a second. Here is the punt by Donnie Jones, and not very long. Wes Welker was back there. Takes a good Miami bounce. They've been given good field position all day. And down it goes Richard, the last to touch it, a 20-yard punt. We're being told it's back spasms hindering Jason Taylor. Dolphins will get it back. Who will be their quarterback? Jay Fiedler. Timeout.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the 265 horsepower 7-passenger Acura MDX and by Nextel. Nextel helps groups get things done. Nextel, done.
And it is a Seahawk. Rice with the touchdown reception. A.J. Feely had a touchdown run. He's on the bench with the bad hip after a bad series the last time where he threw an interception. So Jay Fiedler is in there taking his place, and he kicks it outside, and it is caught by Randy McMichael, tackled by Marquand Manuel, a 1-yard gain to the 37-yard line.
Now check out Jason Taylor going against Walter Jones here to show you what happened to the all-pro defensive end. Remember here, you're talking about a defensive end built for speed, giving up about 70 pounds. And I think every week Jason Taylor gives up about 70, 80 pounds. And that can lead after a while to back spasms all on its own.
Minor's in the backfield by himself with a 2nd and 9. They got to get to the 46. That's the fullback, Rob Conrad, on the move. Travis Minor devoured as he took it inside on that line. Woodard was in there along with Rocky Bernard. No gain on the play. To New York and Craig Gumbel.
All right, Kevin, San Diego jumped off to a 13-point lead against the Raiders, and Kerry Collins brings them right back from 22 yards out. Ronald Curry sliding catch in the end zone. It's now 13-7. San Diego coming up on 6.5 to play in the second quarter.
All right, Greg, San Diego's won 3 consecutive games, and they're just back at Denver, who won today in New Orleans. 3rd down and 9. Again, they got to get to the 46. 3 receivers deployed by Fiedler, who is stuck and brought down. Hit by Wistrom. Ball is out, and it's a fumble and recovered by the Dolphins at the 39. Boy, they had Kazavinsky in there and Grant Wistrom, and there was no breathing space whatsoever for the backup quarterback today, Jay Fiedler, and the Dolphins have got a punt.
You're getting the blitz. You've got Richard and Kazavinsky. They're blitzing, and then the defensive linemen are turned loose because they get one-on-one blocking. That was a nice job. McIntosh and a host of others diving in on that ball.
Another 3 and out for the Miami Dolphins. Maurice Morris is back, and the Matt Turk punt will land well in front of him and bouncing backward and finally down by Hannum, the tight end. And then he is immediately tackled on the play by Travis Minor. It is a 31-yard punt, a 6-yard return. That's Ryan Hannum, a 3rd-year player from Northern Iowa.
Now remember the old illegal touch. Watch the ball go up in the air. Now it's touched right there. Now there's no risk by Hannum catching this, because even if he fumbles right now, it's already been touched by a Miami Dolphin player. It would just go back to the spot where he originally caught it.
They're working on Jay Fiedler again, looking like he had a bloody nose on that last series. 5 in the secondary, opening up this defensive series for Miami. 1st and 10, Sean Alexander. bulldozing his way up. Moreland Greenwood tripped him up with the 45. It's a 9-yard gain. Monday on CBS, it's a holiday comedy feast beginning with Still Standing and Listen Up. Then it's Everybody Loves Raymond, 2.5 Men, and Monday's #1 show, CSI Miami, plus The Late Show with David Letterman. All right here, Monday on CBS. 2nd down and 1.
Boy, Max Strong lead blocking on Zach Thomas.
That is a 4-yard gain, and it's up the middle. That was Max Strong.
And Max Strong is a throwback in this offense. You know, Mike Holmgren's background pretty well documented with the Niners and Green Bay Packers, world champion. He's used to having a tough physical fullback that can not only block, can run with it, can also catch.
Alexander back in. Strong moving very early on the play, and there goes yellow all over the field.
Offense number 38. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Hey, you know you got a fullback that likes to lead block when he jumps off because he's so anxious.
What did you say yesterday to us? I'm like another set of eyes for Sean Alexander.
And he really is. And Sean Alexander leading the NFL in rushing is a huge compliment to Max Strong. Max Strong is his pulling guard, is my analogy, because that's basically what I was most of my career.
That's right.
And Max Strong gets on a linebacker, and he doesn't go away.
1st and 15. They've got to get to the 41, and this is a stiff arming Sean Alexander. A tackle made by Surtain. There's another flag in there. Looks like a face mask.
Oh,
perhaps.
yeah.
Sammy Knight also in on the stop after a gain of 2 to the 47.
Personal foul. Major face mask on the defense, number 23. 15-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
Another penalty against Miami. That is the 2nd today.
That always sounds like my teenage son, Brendan. Major face mask, Dad. Well, this is a major face mask. See the left hand, the tug. You don't have to finish it off. If it's used at all in the tackle, Surtain's going to be thrown for a major face mask, which is 15, rather than the incidental we already saw earlier, which is only 5.
2 tight ends for Dilfer. Alexander in the backfield. 1st and 10 from the 38. Alexander, look at the patience he shows as he picks and pokes his way, and then he's brought down by Moreland Greenwood and Dario Romero. No gain, 38-yard line.
Well, this Seattle offense is moving the ball, and Alexander's getting some yards, but Miami is attacking this offense and getting across the line of scrimmage. Sean Alexander the last 3 weeks, though, this is a pace. I mean, you have to go all the way back to Earl Campbell in the old Love You Blue Houston Oilers days to find a running back put together games over 150 in a row like that.
Hannum in motion, the tight end. 2nd down 10. It goes off to the other tight end. That is Jeremy Stevens, 3 years out of Washington. Hit made by Thomas. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and they're going to spot him at the 33, 34-yard line. Jay Fiedler has a neck stinger, and he had that a couple weeks ago against Arizona too, as you recall.
And now remember, Sage Rosenfels is the 3rd quarterback. If the 3rd quarterback comes in before the 4th quarter, the other 2 quarterbacks can't come back in.
Good point. 3rd and 6, Strong in the backfield. They've got to get to the 28. And here comes Dilfer throwing. It's Bobby Ingram, brought down by rookie Will Poole inside the 5. It's a catch and run of 29 yards. 1st and goal, Seattle Seahawks.
Well, if Trent Dilfer was the spit and fire early for this offense, Bobby Ingram has the ability for the next 7 weeks to just be that automatic starter. He can give you that spark. He can make the big plays. He'll go inside just like that. Those are the zones that most receivers don't like, because that means a big hit, and it never bothers Ingram.
1st and goal inside the 5, and Sean Alexander with the Max Strong block.
Wow, that was close. And that was a great example, that play, of what you said earlier about Max Strong being the 2nd set of eyes for Sean Alexander, because he leads out on a block on the linebacker, and as soon as he leads out, Sean Alexander cuts back right there. He sees his fullback. Where's the ball? That's in.
That is in.
That broke the play.
That's exactly right. They should challenge.
There should be a flag on the field right now. Mike Holmgren's calling for the red flag.
He's digging in his pocket.
When they're coming over to talk to Mike, he has challenged. Once again, wonderful at the point of attack. Nice block by Max Strong, and that ball clearly breaks the plane.
The ball did not penetrate the end zone when the elbow was on the ground. It's being challenged by Seattle.
Okay, the elbow is what Mike Carey says. So at the bottom of that pile, when you see the ball reaching for the end zone with the right arm, where is the left arm? Down, elbow. Boy, that's close.
Very close. Tackle was made by Moore. We got a challenge. Right now in the middle of a challenge to see if Sean Alexander was not down when he crossed the plane with the football.
It's the elbow. The left elbow and shoulder. Does it hit the ground before the ball breaks the plane? Concentrate not only on the ball, but the elbow. Hand, elbow, ball. I tell you, you're going to have a hard time explaining
very tough
that doesn't do it. Watch it again. Ball is reaching, elbow, ball. If it isn't in the end zone, you'll have to spot this ball so close to the goal line that the center will move it. It will be in the end zone by the time they snap the ball.
It is a blade away. That's how close it is. Seattle is in first place over St. Louis, who lost today in Buffalo by a half game. Rams fall to 5-5. As of right now, a 5-4 Seattle team.
After reviewing the play, when the elbow hit in the field of play, the ball had already broken the plane for a score.
I think it's a legitimate call.
4:38 on the game clock.
And I'll tell you one thing, nobody explains to a TV audience and to a crowd on site better than Mike Carey. Mike Carey came into that replay saying, was the elbow down before the ball broke the plane? That's what I'll go under and I'll check. And exactly what happened was the elbow did not hit the ground before the reach with the ball broke the plane of the end zone.
So Alexander gets his 10th rushing touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks have done a lot on the ground. I know it.
Last 17 in a row.
Going back to last year.
And this is a guy coming up on a contract year, unrestricted free agent next year.
Leads the league in rushing coming into today with the extra point up and through by Josh Brown. So the Seahawks have scored on a touchdown pass to Rice, a 4-yard touchdown plunge by the top man in the league coming into this week, Sean Alexander. And they lead Miami 17-7 late in the first half and trying to hold on to first place. As we mentioned before, they're right now by themselves over St. Louis. Coming up in the next till halftime report, join Greg, Shannon, Boomer Esiason, Danny Marino for scores and highlights. That is the next tell halftime report from New York coming up next.
Marino went to talk to Peyton Manning again, and Manning responded with another 4-touchdown performance today. He has 35 for the year, and you see what Sean Alexander's done. Tied the Seahawks team record for touchdowns.
Seattle in the midst of a 5-home game in 7 game to end the season stretch. And they came into today 5-4. They've won 2 of their last 3. Wes Welker, the rookie from Texas Tech, is back. Miami comes in having lost 2 straight games. They are 1-8.
Miami's really taken advantage of the kickoff coverage team of Seattle today and responded with very good field position.
Ground to kick off. Who's going to play quarterback for Miami? That's the biggest question right now, as that goes into the end zone, and that's exactly where Welker will leave it. Both of the 2 quarterbacks we've seen, Feely and Fiedler, have been hurt. Fiedler's not coming back in. It's going to be a gimpy A.J. Feely. Wow. It's gone from bad to worse. He hurt a hip earlier on and was replaced by Jay Fiedler.
But remember the 3rd quarterback rule I mentioned earlier. I mean, this is why Jay Feely has to come in here hurt, and they'll make the decision at halftime. Stinger in the neck for Fiedler. If the 3rd quarterback comes in before the 4th quarter, the other 2 quarterbacks cannot re-enter the game.
From the 20-yard line, 1st and 10 for A.J. Feely, and that's over the head, almost uncatchable for Randy McMichael, and the coverage on the play by Isaiah Kazavinsky. 2nd down and 10. Rob Conrad is injured as well, a head injury, and his return is questionable.
Well, I mentioned earlier about the aggressive nature of Ray Rhodes, the defensive coordinator of the Seahawks, and right now, you know, this is not the time to be kind. You attack this offense. You attack this quarterback.
Darius Thompson becomes a third wide receiver. Seahawks will stay in their base, 2nd down and 10. Sammy Morris shed the oncoming rush of Chad Brown. Then he was hit by Grant Wistrom and Chad Brown and thrown back to the 14 for a loss of 6. No place to run, no place to hide.
Well, he had no place to go, Kevin, because of the attack of Chad Brown and the nice defensive call by Ray Rhodes upstairs.
Flag is down, far side, 17-yard line.
Don't give him a chance to take a deep breath if you're the Seattle defense. Attack.
The illegal formation. Offense number 81 on the line of scrimmage. Shoulders were not parallel to the line of scrimmage. The penalty is declined. 3rd down.
It's Randy McMichael.
Well, here's Chad Brown again and misses Morris the first time. Gets up off the ground. Wistrom gets him, and Chad Brown comes down and gets himself another piece.
3rd and 17. Ray Rhodes has put in 6 defensive backs. The Dolphins have got to get to the 30 with the gimpy A.J. Feedley hit as he throws, and it's down and incomplete.
That's
flag is
grounding.
thrown. Yep.
That's grounding. There's nobody there. They got to get this guy out of here.
Absolutely, and the big hit was put on him by rookie Marcus Tubbs. On the defensive line, he is out of Texas.
Intentional grounding. Offense number 7. A 10-yard penalty in this case, half the distance from goal. Loss of down. 4th down.
I think Seattle smells blood.
Well, look at Michael Boulware coming from the right side. Kazavinsky coming from the inside. Just what I was talking about at the beginning of this series. You attack, you blitz, and you don't let up. This is not a real friendly league. This isn't like Indy running the score up on somebody in the last 6 minutes of the game. This is a defense attacking when they have an advantage.
We're looking at him. He can hardly walk. The other guy's got an injury to his neck, a stinger. That's Fiedler. And they got the 3rd quarterback sitting there watching, who hasn't thrown a pass all year, Sage Rosenfeld. And here is another punt coming off the foot of Matt Turk. This is the 4th punt in 6 Miami possessions. 4 3-and-outs. Deep back is Morris inside the 50-yard line.
Perfect return ball.
Rush came on from Urban. Drifting back to about the 46 is Morris, hit by Ian Badejo, slips by him, and finally hit by Ed Perry and brought down. Ed Perry is the long snapper. A 48-yard punt by Turk and a 2-yard return. Tonight, CBS proudly presents a new Hallmark Hall of Fame production. Don't miss TV Guide's Sunday Movie Pick. Back when we were grown-ups. That's tonight at 9, 8 Central on CBS. So good beginning field position for the Seahawks, Randy, at their own 48. They scored the last time they had it on a 4-yard touchdown run by Alexander.
And you keep the same thing up. You feature Sean Alexander, and you have his running game set this defense up for the pass, because they will keep attacking Seattle.
The tight end Stevens becomes a slot receiver. Alexander on 1st and 10. Jay Williams, one of many Dolphins to make an initial hit. Also, Brian Robinson brings him down. No gain on the play. 2nd down and 10.
You know, this is Trent Dilfer's first start since he tore that Achilles in 2002 against Dallas.
You remember in the 2000 Super Bowl, starting for Baltimore, he threw a touchdown pass en route to a 34-7 Ravens win.
And you saw who that receiver was, right?
Brandon Stokely.
Brandon Stokely, doing a little business in Indy this year.
Good call, yeah. He's been the main target almost. He and Reggie Wayne for Peyton Manning.
I tell you what, Trent Dilfer, I've said it a couple times, but I really believe what I'm talking about. He brings a calm to this offense today. It's just what they needed.
Rice is in 2nd and 10 from the 48. Dilfer going deep down the side. That's intercepted by Otero Freeman. They were going downfield for wide receiver Darrell Jackson. Freeman with the pick. And that is his 2nd interception of the season. It is the 2nd turnover by Seattle today.
And as happens quite a bit when you do what I do right now for a living, commenting on football. About the time you say something nice, guy throws one up for grabs. Skanina got in his face a little bit, but Dilfer threw this ball in a territory it really did not belong in. was a nice, easy interception for Arturo Freeman because Jackson was double covered.
Freeman has lost his starting job 2 consecutive years and lost it this year to Antoine Edwards, the ex-Green Bay Packer defensive back. But when they thought that Edwards was becoming ineffective, they brought back in Arturo Freeman, and he rewards him with a nice interception today. So the quarterback is going to be A.J. Feely. This is unbelievable. They're putting these guys in. They can hardly walk. He's at the 17. It's a 1st and 10, and Sammy Morris with the handoff and brought down on that line by Rocky Bernard. It's a gain of 5. They'll spot him at the 22.
And this puts the game in the hands of the offensive line, as it has been in so many other times this season. And, you know, remember, it's been a day for A.J. Feely today that for a while there, it looked pretty good. You know, rush for a touchdown, get a chance to spike it, tie the game at 7, but then it was Rocky Bernard, and got Rocky Bernard on the hip after that.
Sammy Morris is injured. If you take a look at how they were treating Feely on the sideline moments ago, and he still is out there walking gingerly, but the injured player now is the Dolphins' leading rusher, Sammy Morris.
And the reason I say so much about attacking this offense, despite a guy that's injured, or actually not despite, because he's injured, right? You've got a rookie in Rex Hadnot starting at left guard. You've got an offensive line that honestly is not very good. I mean, they're in the bottom 3 or 4 in the entire NFL. And it's a lot of because it's not a very experienced group. As a group together, they haven't had that experience together. So you're putting the game in the hands of your least experienced group, and your health of your quarterbacks into their hands.
Boy, it's tough, Randy. 1-8. You've lost your head coach, who the players genuinely liked.
Yeah. And Dave Wanstead, I talked to him Friday. Dave Wanstead left as head coach of the Dolphins, not for the pressure, not for the publicity, not for anything. He left to take the pressure off his players and to not be the distraction his job and his status had become.
2nd and 5 handoff to Minor. Marcus Trufant knocks him out of bounds, and that is at about the 24-yard line. More yellow.
Flag out of bounds.
Yep. Flag has been thrown. Minor taking the place of the injured Sammy Morris, although they're almost interchangeable, going from series to series and down to down. They're seeing equal handoffs these days.
Incidental face mask on the defense, number 23 at the dead ball spot.
Trufant.
5-yard penalty. The enforcement results in a first down.
Well, 7 penalties on Seattle.
You remember Surtain grabbed it and pulled? Hey, Trufant grabs it and pushes. He used it to push him out of bounds as much as Surtain was using it to pull him to the ground. But it's usually that grabbing and twisting that gets that 15-yarder.
Seahawks in a 4-3-4 defense. It is a first down from the 30-yard line for Miami. Minor makes a block and affords Feely some time, and it goes outside where it's caught by Marty Booker. He was working on Trufant. It's a gain of 5, and he's near the 35-yard line.
This is the part of a game that, for all of you parents out there that have kids that are quarterbacks, this is when the mom worries the most. If it's if it's junior football,
you are so
my
right.
son, the quarterback, he could get hurt.
You are so right.
Jay Fiedler says I already did, and Feely already did get hurt.
We've reached the 2-minute warning. NFL head coaching debut of Jim Bates, the Miami coach, taking the place of Dave Wanstead, who resigned a couple of weeks ago. Miami has scored in a Feely touchdown run, but they've had a litany of injuries this afternoon, including to Rob Conrad, who has a head injury. They've lost both quarterbacks at one time or another in this first half. We're at the 2-minute warning. It's 2nd down and 5 from the 35-yard line. Minor was in the backfield, and the pass from Feely is outside and caught right in front of Marcus Trufant by Chambers. It is a first down, a gain of 9 to the 44.
Strong job by the line protecting, and Feely standing in there and completing those passes.
3 timeouts remaining, and here comes Feely on 1st and 10 and throws a pass caught at the 50-yard line by McMichael, who is hit by Michael Boulware. It's a gain of 6.
Probably 15 yards away from Olindo Mari pretty sure he's going to make it range, you know, 75% or so.
Darius Thompson is the third receiver from the 50-yard line. Second down and 4, and Feely running. Grant Wistrom is chasing. That pass is caught by McMichael. Did he get his feet in bounds? Yes, he did. What a catch at the 33.
Flag on the backside, Kev, sorry.
17-yard pickup. And right, the flag is down at the 36.
But what a pretty job by McMichael.
How did he catch that ball?
That's a tight end, folks.
And then keep his feet in bounds, Randy.
Well, he gets the 1 foot down, and then it's just a drag.
Illegal contact on the defense, number 42, is declined. The play results in a first down after the force out ruling on the field.
Now this is a tight end. Look at the concentration. Ooh. They didn't used to make tight ends like this. McMichael, Gonzalez, Heap, the tweeners. The tight ends that can beat you as wide receivers or beat you as tight ends.
Chambers, Booker, Darius Thompson, the 3 receivers. First and 10, 33-yard line. And Feely hit from behind by Richard in the pass downfield. Caught by Chambers inside the 5. Trufant made the tackle. Another flag is down. 27-yard pickup. And that penalty flag would appear to be against the Seahawks.
Absolutely. Little pass interference, illegal contact, and what guts
illegal
by Feely.
Defense number 23 is declined. The play results in a first down.
I couldn't agree more about the comment on Feely.
So the offensive line has decided they're going to protect Jay Feely. Feely is hung in there. He's been hit. He's been harassed. He knows that blitz is coming. He puts us into the perfect spot for Chris Chambers.
And Arturo Freeman interception stopped the Seattle drive, gave it back to Miami. First and goal from the 5. Minor is in the backfield. Morris is on the sideline injured. Chambers is on the move. And Feely is back to throw. Flag is down, and it is caught for a touchdown. And Chambers grabs it. A flag is down at the 6.
Thrown from the side. Usually that part with a little quick early movement or illegal formation. I don't care what comes out here penalty-wise. Yeah. A.J. Feely has got incredible heart. What a unbelievable job. 6 for 6 on a scoring
illegal
drive.
Shift. Offense. The guard was going down while the man was still in motion. The 5-yard penalty is still a first down.
Freeman made the interception, and Miami began this drive back at their 17-yard line. Now back to the 10. 8th play of the drive coming up.
Look at the right guard. Watch him keep moving. Taylor Whitley. As the man goes in motion, the guard's still moving. That's illegal. Can't have 2 men in motion.
6 in the secondary for Seattle. First and goal from the 10 for Miami. Miners in the backfield, and A.J. Feely hit. Fumble, and it's loose. And Rex Hadnot, the rookie, jumps on the ball, but the Seahawks have ripped it away and get it back on a Miami turnover. And in the red zone of all places to cough it away. That is the second Miami turnover this afternoon.
Yet another huge disappointment for the Dolphins. In a season that was supposed to be so good. Coach Jim Bates, now interim head coach of the Dolphins, watches a gutty effort by his quarterback. The ball gets knocked out as it hits the back of his guard, Wheatley. The ball comes out. Hadnot can't hold on to it. And I think it's Grant Wistrom that ends up coming up with this ball.
Randy, that is the first defensive takeaway in the red zone all season by the Seattle Seahawks.
But that's almost a microcosm of this team's season.
4 receivers, handoff on 1st and 10 from the 20 to Alexander, who is hit and brought down by Surtain. Second time he has made one, piercing through. Coming up in the Next Tell halftime report, Greg Gumbel, Dan Marino, Shannon Sharp, Boomer Esiason had scores and highlights on a busy Week 11 in the NFL. That's the Next Tell halftime report from New York coming up moments from now. There was a loss of a yard on the play. Both teams have 2 timeouts remaining. Grant Wistrom is the guy that got that loose ball on the fumble by A.J. Feely.
And it's the kind of thing the Seattle Seahawks team needed. You know, they need to win a game where the defense stands up. They've needed this offense to make plays. Trent Dilfer threw that interception that Freeman caught that started that whole last drive. Now the key for this team is just to get the ball moving in the last bit of this half. Don't make mistakes. The ball went off the back of the right guard, Whitley. Couldn't get it, and Wistrom comes up with it.
Miami will line up here with 6 in the secondary. The extra defensive backs, Reggie Howard and rookie Will Poole. It is 2nd and 10. They got to get to the 31. Urban is in there as a 3rd wide receiver for quarterback Trent Dilfer. Look at his time. Now it collapses, and now he's got to run. Chased by Romero and Jay Williams, and Bowens out of bounds. Gain of 3 on the play, and Randy, he's at about the 22.
See, 3rd down, and you're looking at still 32 seconds left. With the timeouts that are left, Miami's going to get their hands back on the ball. A.J. Feely will see this ball again if the defense can rise up and stop him right here. 2 timeouts, both sides of the ball. This is one of those ends of a half where you've really got to keep your team focused. You really have to keep just razor sharp not to give something up dumb at this point of the half.
That's a really good point. Yeah, you can easily relax this time, can't you? Max Strong's in the backfield, 3rd and 7. Dumps it off across the middle. It's caught by Bobby Ingram, who is tapped by Sertan and by Reggie Howard. They're going to take a timeout. Gain of 12 on 3rd and a long 7. And the ball spotted at the 34. So a timeout for the bearded Trent Dilfer, making his first start in 2 years today. Tuesday on CBS, The Amazing Race is off to a running start. Don't miss the new Amazing Race. Tuesday at 9, 8 Central on CBS with Randy Cross, Kevin Harlan. We're in beautiful Quest Stadium. 67,000 plus. And the injuries today for the Dolphins.
I think we need a bigger page. Those are just the ones hurt today. And this team has been through a nightmare 2004. Jay Fiedler, neck stinger a couple weeks ago. Neck stinger again today. Seems a bit dazed. Jay Feely sacked, injured his right hip. Jason Taylor basically just rushing the quarterback, comes up with back spasms.
But Taylor is back in, which is a good sign.
And Conrad, head injury. I mean, it's just been, that's been 2004 for this team. It's what's happened to this football team. It all really started at the very, very beginning of this offseason, before anyone was thinking about playing football.
Jeremiah Bell becomes the 7th defensive back in there for the Miami Dolphins. It is 1st and 10. Seattle with an empty backfield and 4 receivers. Rice, Jackson, Ingram, and Urban. And here comes Dilfer. He is being chased by Bowens and throws it away, incomplete. And was shut pretty good. Some nice hustle on the play by 5-year veteran David Bowens. And now it is 2nd down and 10. They got to get to the 44. Timeouts, Seattle 1, 2 for Miami.
Okay, now you're looking still at the situation with the timeouts. And now you look at your field position. Look at your down. Where does your kicker need to get? Where does Brown need to get to be effective? In my mind, you've got to get about the 34-yard line. So you just do the math involved here. You're looking at about a 25-yard gain right here to get into reasonable field goal range.
2nd down and 10. The handoff goes to Sean Alexander, brought down by rookie Will Poole. 42-yard line, gain of 9. Another timeout taken by Seattle. Just to follow up that note on Josh Brown, he has the longest field goal in the NFL of 58 yards over the last 6 seasons. So that says a lot about that kid who's only 2 years out of Nebraska. It'll be 3rd down. And we're going to call it about 2 yards, perhaps.
In this situation, now you got 11 seconds left. Now you have no timeouts left if you're Seattle. Sometimes the end of a half isn't about scoring. Sometimes the end of the half is about the other team not getting the ball.
Kind of what you were talking about before.
Yeah. This is more about Mike Holmgren guaranteeing going in at the half. You know, I'd love to make a big play down here. I'd love to maybe throw a pass or Sean Alexander. Goodness knows he's got the ability to go 57 yards. But this is more about A.J. Feely and that offense that was on such a roll there at the last possession before the fumble, not getting a chance to go back onto the field or get a chance to throw a ball to Chambers or to McMichael.
4 receivers, 7 in the secondary, 3rd and a long 1. And Dilfer moving up. Nice block by Walter Jones off the fingertips of Strong and intercepted on the far side by Madison, who laterals to Bell. Jeremiah Bell is on the move, and then he is whacked at the 41-yard line.
Flag
we
down.
have no time remaining, and a flag is down. You're right.
Flag down, and I think it's going to be defensively going to be against Miami.
Each team has turned it over twice pending this flag, because that would be the 3rd Seattle turnover.
And remember, the half can end in a defensive penalty.
Exactly.
Before the pass.
Unless declined.
Holding on the defense, number 25. Because it happens on the last play of the game, the re-extension of 1 play untimed. Automatic. So, first down.
Alert you, saying now we got 1 more play left.
Right, exactly. And no reason Mike Holmgren and company doesn't throw this down into the end zone and see if we can get a tip drill going. Another update on an injury. Zach Thomas now with a hamstring, and yet another Dolphin player will be evaluated at halftime. If you don't want to go in the game and you're a Miami Dolphin, if you're a healthy looking fan in the stands, they might pull you out.
All right, the receivers now numbering 4 at the 47 with no time remaining, and it is a first down for Trent Dilfer, who will wind up and throw deep in the end zone on a beautiful spiral, and it is picked off in the end zone by Jason Taylor.
Guess his back's better, I guess, huh?
That is not an interception. He was out of the back of the end zone, so he was not.
Oh, he's a catch. Give it to him.
I'd love to. I'd love to give it to him, because
now the right foot steps out of the end zone.
He is the biggest and tallest safety in the NFL.
He weighs about as much as a lot of safeties, too.
Remember, he was knocked out earlier with the back spasm. Anyway, it's 17-7 Seattle on a Rice touchdown reception and an Alexander touchdown run. The injured Dolphins at 1-8 taking on first place Seattle, but losing 17-7 at halftime. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
Nobody but you, yeah. I do in you now. Who is my friend now? When all friends are gone. Nobody but you. Oh, baby. Who is my friend now? When all friends are gone. Who always defend me if I'm right or wrong.
We're in Seattle, 17-7. The Seahawks with Randy Cross, Kevin Harlan. Where do we start?
Well, if you're Miami, you start on a positive. You move the ball well at the end of the half. Sure, you finish it off with a fumble, but A.J. Feely was showing the guts. The line was blocking. If you're Seattle and Mike Holmgren, you need to keep doing what you did early in the game. That was feature Sean Alexander. That opened up the passing game for Trent Dilfer. Don't turn into an aerial circus. You're not that good throwing the ball.
Josh Brown kicks off our second half, and the rookie Wes Welker on the fly at the 13 for the Miami Dolphins, and runs into a manual tackle. Marquand Manuel, who was let go by Cincinnati earlier in September, a 19-yard return to the 33. And some of our fantasy numbers.
Well, if you started either one of these guys, you're not terribly excited right now at halftime, but you know, Sean Alexander is the leading rusher in the league, has got some serious potential. Jerry Wright, first touchdown in some time.
Miami comes out with A.J. Feely. Morris was injured in the first half, so Minor is in the backfield from the 33. It's first down and 10. 4-3-4 defense by the Seahawks. Feely throws, and it is caught by Ken Lucas. Picked off, or was he down? And was the ball intercepted? They were going for Booker. It is an interception. That's the 3rd Miami turnover. And Lucas gets the pick. That's his 5th of the season amongst the best in the NFL.
Was it a catch and then he got it?
Oh,
it hit the ground.
No, that's a horrible
The
call.
ruling on the field.
Here comes a flag.
And down by contact, first down.
I'll challenge that all day long.
Jim Bates, this might be his first game as a head coach in the NFL, as their interim head coach of the Dolphins, but That's a dead challenge there. That ball hit the ground. That should not be a turnover.
Good camera work by our crew. We're just seconds into this third quarter. Seattle is in first place by virtue of a loss by St. Louis and Buffalo earlier today.
What a talented play by Hamlin. This is a football team with 12 interceptions, 21 turnovers as a team. Ken Lucas, nice job, but that ball hit the ground.
The Miami Dolphins are challenging the supposed interception by cornerback Ken Lucas of Seattle.
Watch Lucas's right hand. Talk about some sleight of hand. He gets in there, but that ball does touch the ground. Yep. Right after before he starts that roll, when he first tucks it in and steals it, that ball did hit the ground.
We have two offenses on the field. Both are very optimistic here. One thinking they're going to get it.
After reviewing the play, the loose ball hit the ground before it was intercepted. Therefore, the pass is incomplete. Miami will not be charged with a timeout. Please put 14:49 on the game clock. It'll be 2nd and 10 on the 33.
So that's a win right there for Jim Bates in his NFL head coaching debut. Wins a challenge.
Ball did hit the ground. But Ken Lucas and Marcus Trufant, the starting corners up here in Seattle, are a real young, very high quality group. A lot is said about Patrick Surtain and Madison about how good they are. And I think this group here in Seattle down the road, the next couple of years, will establish itself as one of the top pairs in the entire league.
Okay, here we go.
There are two tight ends for Miami. It is 2nd down and 10 from the 33. A.J. Feely hands off to Travis Minor. Brought down by Kaczynski. It is a gain of 1. Moves to the 34-yard line. There is news on that Piston-Pacer fight from a couple nights ago. Let's go to New York and Greg Gumbel.
Kevin, the penalties have come down in the NBA, and here's what happened. 9 players suspended for a total of 143 games. Indiana's Ron Artest suspended for the rest of the year. Teammate Steven Jackson for 30, Jermaine O'Neal for 25, Anthony Jackson for 5. Ben Wallace of the Pistons gets 6 games, all suspended without pay. Guys, back to you.
Thank you. On that 3rd and 9, it was knocked away by Ken Hamlin on a pass intended for Darius Thompson. And so Miami is 3 and out again. 5th time they've been 3 and out this afternoon. They'll have to punt the ball on their first second-half possession.
And good for David Stern in the NBA slapping those guys down. Because I have a young son that watches a lot of NBA basketball. And what those guys do on a regular basis is embarrassing.
Maurice Morris is inside the 20. And here comes the Matt Turk punt. From the 21-yard line, Morris. He has returned a kickoff for a touchdown, but this will go no place, and he is brought down by David Bowens, a defensive lineman who was right on it after a 9-yard return and a Turk 43-yard punt. Timeout.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 39. Cadillac and the new STS with available performance-tuned all-wheel drive. Breakthrough. And by Bud Light. Fresh, smooth, real. It's all here.
Miami just punted. New linebackers now in Pope, Moore, and Greenwood. Zach Thomas out with a hamstring. And it's 1st and 10. And this is Sean Alexander hit by Jason Taylor and slips by him, then brought down on the side by a host of Dolphins. A gain of 4 on the play, and the tackle was made by Patrick Surtain. They're out to the 33.
And we talked about that fine just handed down by David Stern. Here's a recap. And people that didn't really see the game tape much, very closely, didn't even catch this fight between the Dolphins and the Cardinals, then the one last week. So this isn't limited to the NBA. This stupid "I must protect this house" crud has no place in this game. You want to do that? Go join a gang.
2nd down and 6. They go outside to Atulu Neely, who is tackled on the play by Moore. It's a gain to the 35 and a pickup of 2. You want to say that one more time?
No, seriously. If you think you got to live that way, you know, I must protect this house. You see those ads all the time?
Right.
You know, these aren't dogs lifting their legs on trees. These are people. You don't need that kind of attitude in this league. In our business. I mean, the NBA might let that stuff go. The NFL will not let that happen. You want to do that? Get out of the league, form a gang, have fun, live like that. Go ahead.
3rd down and 4. Jackson on the move. One of 4 receivers for Dilfer. Here comes the blitz. Up the middle they go, and they bring him down. David Bowens was there. First sack today by the Miami Dolphins. And Bowens led the charge. That's their old defensive coordinator, Jim Bates, who's making his head coaching interim debut today. A loss of 11, and he's back to the 25.
Hey, you don't have to bring 7 people to attack, but it helps. Miami's just going after Trent Dilfer. I like that. That's Jim Bates. That's sort of the new attitude of this team. They're playing looser. We've seen it all day long.
3 and out for Seattle. Jones the punt. Welker is deep back, and on the run from the 40-yard line comes Wes Welker, who's brought down by Kaczynski at about the 44-yard line. It is a 35-yard punt by Jones, a 4-yard return. Timeout. Each team has started 3 plays in punt to open the second half. Miami's got it now for the second time, 44-yard line, 1st and 10. And Feely almost had that picked off by Hamlin. He was going outside for Darius Thompson. It is incomplete. 2nd down and 10. Monday on the news, CSI Miami. Modern-day pirates are wreaking havoc off the coast of Florida. Don't miss a new episode of Monday's most watched show, CSI Miami. That's at 10, 9 Central. Right here on CBS. 2nd down and 10. Feely outside, caught by Chambers, whipped around and brought down by Kaczynski. Slowed down initially by Lucas. It's a gain of 6. He's to midfield.
I'll be honest, I like the attitude that Jim Bates' football team right now is playing with. It's been 2 weeks since they've played. They're in a little bit of a hurry up right here, or just sort of no huddle, and they're being aggressive.
3rd and 4 with 3 receivers for Feely. Moves up nicely with that bad hip, throws off to Minor, who is breaking a tackle of Chad Brown, then brought down by Manuel, close to a 1st down, near the 45-yard line, gain of 4.
And if you're worried about a defense attacking a wounded quarterback, this is a really nice idea. Stay in your hurry up, move things quickly, limit the amount of substitutions the defense can make, and if they want to go after you, make sure they have to do it out of their base defense, not out of a nickel where they have more of the lighter, faster guys out there running behind you.
Feely showing you something this afternoon?
Absolutely. I mean, Feely's guts, I think, today has just been amazing. We saw that play where he gets buried into the ground by Bernard and injures the hip. He's limping. You've got, Jay Fiedler has got a neck stinger. Sage Rosenfels has been on the sideline warming up. He's the 3rd quarterback, and I'd be very surprised in the next 11 minutes or so if, Jay Feely gets hit a couple more times if we don't see that 3rd quarterback.
Feely grew up just outside of Boise, Idaho, about 40 miles outside of Boise, Idaho. He has family and friends here today watching in Seattle. They do get the 1st down. It is with the back nose of the football touching the 46. It's officially the 46. No huddle offense for Miami, down 17-7.
Well, if the back's the nose, what's the other end of the ball?
I don't know. I could say
the front nose and the back nose?
On a football, yes.
Okay.
There is. Darius Thompson remains the 3rd receiver. 1st and 10 for Feely, and a pass through the hands of tight end Randy McMichael, who was covered on the play by Terrell Vieira. It is 2nd down and 10.
Let's look at some of the, just some, I say. Jason Taylor's not on here. He's playing, but he's got the back spasms. And Rob Conrad with the concussion in the middle is the only guy that's really out. The rest of them are questionable.
6 in the secondary, 2nd down and 10, and Feely from the 46 throws, and it was caught but probably out of bounds, and they're saying it was caught by Chambers inbounds. Coverage by Marcus Trufant, 13-yard pickup, and a Miami 1st down to the 33. What a catch.
Nice job by the line with the protection. Excellent job by Feely, just sort of rolling away from the pressure, and a wonderful toe tapper there by Chris Chambers. He was in. Jim Bates over on the sideline rooting for it the whole way.
33-yard line. There's Minor on the draw and into the backfield and chased by Richard and brought down from behind near the 16-yard line. A 17-yard gain by Travis Minor a couple weeks ago against Arizona. Had runs of 34 and 27 yards.
I know one thing. After talking to him on the phone Friday, there isn't a happier guy than Dave Wannstedt to see the kind of aggressiveness and the guts this football team is showing right now.
1st and 10. It's a pass. Feely to Chambers. Breaks the tackle. Works the sideline. He got by Trufant. There's a flag on the play. He's out of bounds at the 3.
It's going to be a face mask, I think, against Trufant.
Question might be, did he get in? Did he get over the pylon? And they are saying
incidental face mask. The defense, number 23, is declined. Score is good.
He got in over the pylon and a touchdown. A 16-yard touchdown pass from A.J. Feely.
The incidental, he grabs it and twists it and still can't bring him down. Look at that reach with the ball to the pylon.
We had one official marked him out at the 3-yard line. That's why it was so confusing.
Never steps out, and look at that reach for the ball. He was never, yeah, I know, I mean, they were a little confused too.
Yes.
But that was excellent presence of mind by Chambers with that football.
And the Dolphins back in business as Olindo Mare gets the extra point. We've got a 3-point game with 10:33 to play in the 3rd quarter.
And Jim Bates gets that, get him on the field, let him kick it, no replays.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Levitra. Ask your doctor about it today. Levitra, when it counts. And by the new Chevrolets. 10 new cars and trucks in 20 months. An American revolution.
Where do you think the one place A.J. Feely doesn't want to get hit right now is? Bowens had no idea. And that's
my gosh.
Really bad bruised hip or cheek.
Kickoff by Mare after the touchdown pass to Chambers and picked up here by Kerry Carter. And then drilled by Derek Pope and Jimmy Wyrick at the 26 on a 20-yard return. So a passion-filled Miami team coming in 1-8, and they get their first 3rd quarter touchdown of the season on the pass to Chambers.
And I just mentioned the enthusiasm, the passion that this team's playing with right now is nothing less than remarkable. With all the injuries, with all the negatives, they didn't get the memo. They didn't know they weren't supposed to be able to do this.
Dolphins in a base defense. It is a 1st down. They go outside on the pass to the fullback Strong, who is hit by Greenwood. The gain is to the 27, and it's a gain of 1. 2nd down. Jim Bates making his head coaching debut on an interim basis with Miami.
Oh, your first day. I did the last game, one of the last games he did as a head coach, Kevin, when he was with the San Antonio Gunslingers. A USFL game.
Yeah, now that's a ways away.
Yeah, that was a long time. I was still active.
27-yard line. 2nd down. Handoff goes to Alexander. They had 9 to go. They had to get up past the 35. He picks up 3 right there. Brought down by Moore. And by Surtain. This guy has been all over the map in the NFL. In college and in high school.
Seattle's really lived by the run today. Got in trouble with the pass.
Extra defensive back is there for Miami. It is 3rd down and 6. 3 make it 4 receivers, including Jackson in motion for Dilfer. Strong in the backfield, supplying a block. He's hit and brought down, sacked by Will Poole, the rookie out of USC. The 2nd sack recorded by Miami's defense today. It's back to the 28-yard line and a loss on the play of a yard, and Seattle has got a punt again.
When you're getting the ball, this ball's got to be out now. It's got to be out somewhere if you're a Trent Dilfer. You're not a scrambler. You don't have the speed. And it's just a sack waiting to happen once you start running around back there.
2nd straight 3 and out for the Seattle Seahawks to begin the 2nd half. Here's a Donnie Jones punt, almost blocked in the play by Forsey. And retrieved by Welker on a fair catch at about the 27-28-yard line. A 44-yard punt by the rookie Jones out of LSU for the Seahawks. Miami's got some fire. They're back in the game, down by 3 to first place Seattle. Timeout. Two 3 and outs in this half by Seattle. They just punted to Miami, and the Dolphins take over. And Feely on 1st and 10 throws up a wobbly pass, which is knocked down by Trufant, intended for Booker. It was at about the 40-yard line of Seattle. It'll be 2nd down and 10. The Dolphins are fresh off a Chambers touchdown pass.
The fact that this is even able to be caught down the field is all about the protection in the backfield that Jay Feely gets. Big blitz, maximum protection. They didn't even get close.
5 in the secondary. Thomas is the 3rd receiver for Miami. That is an incomplete pass intended for Chambers. Coverage on the play by Lucas and by Hamlin. It's 3rd down and 10.
Look at that yards this quarter, and it's all been about 2 things. 1, the fire and enthusiasm you talked about from Miami, but 2 is Seattle's only run 2 running plays this half. They've gotten away from it. They've gotten in trouble with the pass. Go back to your run. That's who you are.
6 in the secondary for the Seahawks, including Boulware and Richard. There are 3 Miami receivers out there, Booker, Thompson, and Chambers. They've got to get to the 38. It's 3rd and 10. Feely caught by Darius Thompson, who had been grabbed by Vieira and by Boulware. Shy of a first down by 3 yards. He's out to the 35. He picks up 7. 3 and out for the Miami Dolphins.
If you're on the road and you're hurting right now like Miami is, you see Feely lumping off the field, hanging is not bad. But if somebody's hanging with you at home and you're the Seattle Seahawks, hanging is bad. Do not let this team hang around. This is a team you should and really could easily put away, but they're not doing it.
Matt Turk the punt again. Maurice Morris is back. He waves it off. They're going to let it bounce at the 30. Jeremiah Bell will then hunt it down inside the 20 and down by Wyrick at about the 19 on a 46-yard well-placed punt. There's a flag on the field. As we take a look at our NFL.com poll, cast your vote at NFL.com.
I think the first person to touch the ball.
Illegal touching of the kick.
Good call.
Number 35 of the the kicking team went out of bounds as the first to touch. It's a 5-yard penalty. Re-kick, 4th down.
Let him say it. That's what I was going to say.
No, I like the way you say it better. You're right on it. 7:43 to play. We're in the 3rd.
And rev it up time for Jason Taylor and this Miami Dolphins defense.
Have you ever played on a team that was 1-8?
I've played on 2 that were 2-14. I've been on 1-8 teams.
And what's it like in November when you're that down low?
Gum surgery, things like that. No anesthetic. It's as bad as it can possibly be in professional football. It doesn't get any lower than that being that bad. It affects everything. I mean, nothing tastes good.
Here's Turk punting again on 4th and 8. And fair caught. Maurice Morris at about the 24. 46-yard punt. Let's go to New York and Craig Gumbel.
All right, Kevin, San Diego playing in Oakland against the Raiders. Kerry Collins to Teo Johnson, 8 yards and a touchdown. And suddenly it's a 2-point game at Oakland. 16-14 Chargers. Last seconds of the 3rd quarter, guys.
Remember, Oakland, Greg, has come back and they've beaten San Diego 10 of the last 14 times as you take a look at the standings in the AFC West.
And that is a rivalry not many people know about. That is extremely intense out here in the AFC West. And Denver's still way on top after going to New Orleans and winning that game today and going 7-3.
From the 24, it's 1st down and 10. Good block by the running back to knock out the blitzing linebacker Moore. That block was by Alexander, but the pass is incomplete. It's 2nd down and 10. They're going outside to his angular tight end, Jeremy Stevens, who is 6'7".
Angular.
Thanksgiving Day, the NFL on CBS renews a holiday tradition. The celebration begins at noon Eastern with Greg, Dan, Shannon, and Boomer. It's a special edition of the NFL Today. Then the Indianapolis Colts tangle with the Detroit Lions. It's Detroit against Indianapolis.
What's the story? Can Peyton get to 40 in week 10?
2nd down and 10.
Week 12,
he is on an incredible
amazing
run. Hand off to the NFL's leading rusher coming into today, Alexander, pulled down by Brian Robinson. Wiggles his way for 3s to the 26.
This defense has got Mike Holmgren's offense on their heels, or out of sorts, however you want to look at it. They're passing on 1st down. They're running on a predictable 2nd down. Somehow Jason Taylor and company here on defense, whether it's through the blitz or just refusing to be blocked, is totally disrupting this offense right now, and the game reflects it. That's why this game is so close, is this defense that's been maligned and beaten on all year has really risen up.
5 in the secondary for the Dolphins. They got to get to the 34. Does Seattle with a 3rd and a long 7. Here is Dilfer, who slings a pass incomplete. That's the first time they've gone to Jerry Rice in the last 6 series. He caught on the opening drive of the game a touchdown pass. He's been quiet since then.
Well, he's open too. Guess he needed to be more angular. Or at least taller.
When I hear that as a boy, I used to hear Howard Cosell called Harold Carmichael. Remember that?
The angular. He needed to be Howard Carmichael's height to catch that pass.
Here's a punt coming up now again from Donnie Jones. Another punt, 3rd consecutive by Seattle. Almost blocked by Jeremiah Bell. Retrieved by Welker at the 36. And look at him dance around before Manuel and Kazavinsky and Richard bring him down. A 6-yard Welker return, a 38-yard Donnie Jones punt. And they spot him at the 42-yard line. Tonight, what do you get when Jim Carrey goes on 60 Minutes? A side of him that's rarely on display. You'll see it tonight on 60 Minutes here on CBS with Randy Cross, Kevin Harlan. I know a lot of our people are in airports today watching this game.
Oh, yeah.
Very safe travels for the Thanksgiving holiday.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of shots of Jim Bates and his enthusiasm so far today. And that's really, this football team is playing like Jim Bates looks.
From the 43, E.J. Feely, 1st and 10, handoff to Minor. Morris is injured, so he's on the sideline. The tackle is made on the side by Nico Kudavides. It's a gain of 3. He's out to the 45-yard line. 2nd down.
Last head coaching job, the San Antonio Gunslingers in Trinity Stadium. In San Antonio, his first game as a head coach in the NFL.
Ball's officially at the 45. 2nd down 8. They got to get to the 47 of the Seattle Seahawks. A.J. Feely to Minor. And he's belted. And Chad Brown, one of many Seahawks on the tackle. It's a gain of 2. These are the 47. Well, we hope you're enjoying in our game stat tracks. It's in the upper part of the screen. And the game tracks with scores and stats of other games constantly updated down below. It's a feature only on CBS. The numbers on Minor. Miami has scored in the 2nd half on a Chambers touchdown grab of 16 yards from Feely. Seattle has had it 3 times, all 3 plays punt. It's 3rd down and 6 from the 47. They got to get to the 47 of Seattle. And Feely with time and down the side, and Chambers can't grab it. Trufant, along with Vieira, we're tag teaming him down the sideline. In Miami has got a punt again. 2nd consecutive punt for them.
We're back to the same theme though, Kevin. Miami is hanging. Seattle is attacking and not getting close to Feely. You let A.J. Feely stand back there and feel he can stand back there and throw and start taking shots with Chambers and everybody else in his offense. He'll complete a long one, and he's going to make you pay.
2nd consecutive 3 and out for the Miami Dolphins, and the Turk punt is sent downfield toward Maurice Morris, who lets it bounce. And some spin on it. Jeremiah Bell is one of a couple Dolphins down there that down the ball inside the 5. A 50-yard, well-placed punt by Matt Turk in his 10th year at 34 years of age. Better than ever. And now stranded inside the 5 is the quarterback, Trent Dilfer. Well, Seattle's 4 losses this season have all been close games. In Week 5, the Rams blew a 17-point lead and lost in overtime to St. Louis. In Week 6 at New England, Matt Hasselbeck threw 2 early interceptions, and Seattle was never able to catch up. Week 7, Arizona blocked punt. And then last week at St. Louis, 4th quarter trailing by 8. Sean Alexander fumbled. And that gave the swing against Holmgren and the Seahawks and to the Rams. And they won it last week by a count of 23-12.
First half, they had 24 runs and 19 passes so far in the 2nd half. That's only their 4th run.
Here's Alexander on 1st and 10. And Dario Romero, part of the tackling core, a gain of 2 to the 6-yard line.
And coming into the game today, before any results were filed, here's your leading rushers in the NFL. Curtis Martin, you saw earlier in an update, had that big rush. We went by Tony Dorsett. on the all-time rushing list. And look what Edgerrin James does. I mean, what kind of weapons are those? You got a quarterback throwing for 4 touchdowns and Peyton Manning. You got 200 yards rushing and Edgerrin James.
2nd down and 8 from the 6-yard line. And Dilfer throws. It's caught by Jerry Rice. And the Hall of Famer to be is off to the races. Chased by Madison, who tries to punch the ball away. He does bring him down 37-yard line of Miami. A 52-yard catch and run by the greatest player perhaps in the history of the NFL, Jerry Rice.
Jerry Rice today, not that he needed to prove anything to anybody, but he has more than justified Mike Holmgren signing him. Look at that. He's thinking about ball. He knows Madison's going to try to knock it out. He catches that ball, keeps his concentration, and he has saved some bacon on this drive.
Urban taking his place on this 1st and 10 handoff to Alexander, who is brought down by Moore, and he works his way for a gain of 2 to the 37. Numbers that will maybe never be equal.
Well, I mean, we talk about Marvin Harrison. He went over 800 last week in the game we did with them in Houston. Okay, great. Only 750 or so to go to get Jerry. And listen to this crowd. Guy's been here a month.
He's already won them over. 2nd down and 8 from the 37. Alexander. Another keen arm right here and bringing him down. There was all kinds of people there, including Jeff Scanina. Remember, on that loss of a yard on the play back to the 37, the Miami Dolphins have not allowed many 100-yard rushers prior to this year. But this season, they have struggled against the run. Miami's defense has given up 6 individual 100-yard rushing performances this season alone. 3rd down and 9 from the 37. Dolphins have 6 in the secondary.
And that's because, Kevin, everyone's run on them late. They've had leads. They've lost people inside.
Max Strong in the backfield. There's the pass caught by Jackson. He had to get down near the 28-yard line, and he dropped the ball. Am I correct?
No, it's going to be 4th. It's going to be 4th down. It's going to be spotted just short of the 1st down.
He got the ball. The catch was made. He's close to the 1st. He's shy of the 28. So now it is 4th down, and Mike Holmgren sending in the play, and he's going to bring in some real heavy power now with a couple tight ends, and he's also going to bring in Kerry Carter.
Well, you got Max Strong at fullback. This is not complicated if you're the Miami Dolphins defense. You follow Max Strong, and that's where Sean Alexander's going. There's very little faking out anybody here. This is power.
Strong, Alexander, and Carter in the backfield from the 29. It's 4th and 1.
Full house.
Full house backfield, and Alexander, and the play blown dead.
Play clock.
Wow. Offense. 5-yard penalty is still 4th down.
How about that? Look at Holmgren.
He ought to be livid.
That is the 8th penalty on the Seahawks, a season high.
Look at Jim. Look at Bates. Jim Bates knows exactly what's happened.
They've gone from 4th and 1 to now 4th down and 6, and they've got to punt the ball. Opportunity wasted right there for Seattle.
But way backed up, 2-yard line. You've brought it all the way out here.
That's a good point.
You know, pooch it here, back up Miami, make them bring it out from back deep. Now it's on your defense. Jerry Rice did his job. Now it's the job of the Seahawks D.
If they think it, they got to get to the 28. He's just going to pooch it, as Randy said. Oh, and the guy didn't have a chance to catch it. And you know what? Richard.
I think he was blocked into him, wasn't he?
I thought he ran into him. Richard was on the special teams, and he's the one that went barreling into Wes Welker. Richard is out of Southern Cal in his 3rd NFL season.
If they confer here, Kevin, I think one of the officials is going to make the note that he was pushed from behind.
Interference with the opportunity to make a fair catch. Number 42, the kicking team, from the spot of the foul, 15 yards, automatic. 1st down.
I think he went into him under his own accord. Although Wyrick may have bumped him, you're right.
Wyrick is blocking on him and just gets him at the last second. He backs off, but the damage is being done.
And that is not reviewable.
It's at the bottom of the screen. Right. Well, He might have been pushed, but you've got to have the presence of mind to know you can't hit that guy.
He could have veered. He had about 3 or 4 yards where he could have changed direction. Nonetheless, a Seattle punt. They've had it, Randy, 4 times in the second half, and Seattle has punted every time they've had the ball.
But we've just watched 2 severe Seattle brain cramps. You don't get that 4th and short off, and then you do this.
Jamar Martin is now taking the place of Conrad in the backfield. It's a 1st and 10 pass, and it is incomplete. Nobody home. 2nd down and 10. 47 seconds to play in the 3rd, and Feely again trying to scrape himself off the floor. As you take a look at Seattle in first alone by virtue of St. Louis's loss earlier in the day at Buffalo.
And there's why you need to win a game like this. Seattle, look at the division record. You're 2-3, and St. Louis is 4-0. And if Jay Feely flinched about getting patted on the backside, how do you think it feels to land on it or get hit on it?
There are 3 receivers out there, Booker, Thompson, and Chambers. 2nd down and 10. They've got to get beyond the 35. End around, and Chris Chambers finds a seam, was tripped up by Wistrom, who was almost on the ground when he tripped him up. The ball to the 33. The end around produces 7 yards and a couple yards shy of a first.
What a nice job by Grant Wistrom, though. I mean, he was beaten and fooled. He had committed inside. He came all the way back out, and in a full sprint manages to trip up a wide receiver on a reverse.
Things have just gotten worse for Miami. Word from their sideline, Pat Surtain, a calf injury, probably will not return. 3rd and 3. How many bullets can this team take from the 33?
Does Freddie Krueger come to mind?
Yes. And Feely with 4 receivers at his disposal finds one of them. That's Chambers catching it with the Richard tackle. Chambers with the grab. It's a gain of 7 on the play. He's to the 39. They move the chains. It's a 1st down concluding the 3rd quarter. Only score was a Miami touchdown pass. Feely to Chambers. That brings the Dolphins to within 3 at the end of 3 as you're watching the NFL on CBS.
The difference in this ball game is Miami's 1st touchdown in the 3rd quarter this season, making it that 17-14 score. Miami's played with a sense of determination and fire we haven't seen out of them probably this season.
1st down and 10. This will be the first play of the 4th quarter from the 39-yard line. Hand off to Brock Forsey in the game for the first time, and he is stood up by Kazavinsky in a gain of 2, Randy, to the 41-yard line. Brock Forsey has not carried the ball much. That was only his 19th carry of the season, the ex-Chicago Bear.
And right now, Miami, you can give them all the compliments you want, but really in reality, they're kind of like that skinny little scrawny neighborhood kid that wouldn't go away. Jim Bates and his football team are just hanging around. Hanging around, hanging around. You let them hang around, they're going to beat you.
Minor is back in. 2 tight ends for Feely. 2nd down 8, just outside the 40. Feely throwing to McMichael, the leading receiver, and he bulldozes his way close to a 1st down and gang tackled by Hamlin and Chad Brown and Kazavinsky and others. A gain of 9, and he's got the 1st down, it appears, to the 50.
Tell you, this Miami line struggled early, but in the last quarter and a half or so, they have really bowed up and done some nice work. They protected Feely, and look at Hadnot, 66, coming down and just drilling the defenders in the pile in the back, trying to push them through for a 1st down. When A.J. Feely has really needed this line, they've come through.
Well, the spot was not all that generous to the Miami Dolphins, as they did not give them what appeared to be the yardage, but they got it by literally the nose of the football. The front nose of the football.
Front nose, okay. And really, the stats in general are a little bit deceiving in this game. I mean, Seattle's, football-wise, has controlled a lot of this game, but a couple of recent knucklehead moves by the Seahawks has really allowed Jim Bates' football team some serious life in this ball game.
The Seattle defense is in a 4-3-4. It is a 1st down, officially at the 49-yard line. Jamar Martin is in motion. The handoff goes to Minor, and again he goes up the gut, meets the grab of middle linebacker Orlando Huff. He's to the 49. He picks up 2 yards. He's into Seahawk territory. Time permitting, coming up in the Subway postgame show, Greg, Dan, Shannon, and Boomer will give you the latest NFL scores and wrap up the day with highlights. That's all coming up on the Subway postgame show from our studios in New York. What a day it's been, too. Fourth quarter comebacks by 3 different teams. Second down and 9. They've got to get to about the 40-yard line. Minor remains, and he gets the handoff. A block by Taylor Whitley. A stop by Huff. And by Wistrom to the 47, a gain of 2.
And it really has been. If you took the very end of the first half and patched it together with this part of the second half, it really has been a tale of 2 halves. Seattle's offense, especially Seattle's rushing offense. Their offense right now in that 67 number, that's one Jerry Rice pass. Otherwise, they've done diddly.
You're right, 52 yards to Rice. Good point. 3rd and 7. Again, they got to get inside the 41 to the 40. 3 receivers deployed, 6 in the secondary, make it 5 in the secondary for the Seattle Seahawks. Minor was in the backfield, and Feely being pressured, and on him hard was Rocky Bernard. There's a flag. You're right, there's a flag thrown. Feely again writhing in pain on the field and hobbling off again.
Well, Okafor.
Intentional grounding. Offense number 7. It's a 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Loss of down. 4th down.
You know, Okafor and Bernard get in there again. Remember, it was Rocky Bernard that hit him the first time that injured the hip and finishes him off again. Oh, how much that must hurt.
Do you cringe every time you see that kid get hit today?
And we're now in the 4th quarter, so it bears mentioning that Sage Rosenfels can come back in, can come in now, and then you're free to replace around with your rotation at quarterback.
14th total punt of the game. This is sent skyward by Turk. And deep back, they've got Maurice Morris from about the 10. And very quickly brought down by Wyrick, the ex-Detroit Lion. 47-yard punt, 8-yard return to the 18-yard line.
Feely's been punished. He didn't want out.
The Pro Bowler from a season ago, Matt Hasselbeck, the usual starting quarterback, bruised his thigh that came on a collision with Alexander last week in St. Louis. So Trent Dilfer is making his first start today in 2 years. Miami just punted again for a 3rd consecutive time to the 17-yard line, 1st and 10. And Dilfer crushed as he throws, intercepted. Picked off on the play by Surtain, who is supposedly out for the game because of a calf injury. How resilient are the Miami Dolphins at 1-8 with quarterbacks working on a last breath, it seems like, every series. This guy, they told us moments ago, is out for the game. Here he comes off with a big-time pick.
Told you at the beginning of the game, the key for the Seattle Seahawks was the 1 if by land, 2 if by sea. You'll finish 1 today if you run the ball effectively, but you're going to finish 2nd if you rely on the pass. The second half, they've relied on the pass because Miami stuffed the run, and they have put the Miami Dolphins and let the Miami Dolphins stay in this game. You think Jerry Rice wanted that ball? He wasn't open.
So from the 36, another start for Miami in Seattle territory. A.J. Feely going short underneath. And he's got his receiver, McMichael, who is hit by Hamlin. The two go tumbling at about the 30-yard line and a pickup of 6 yards.
You can't say enough about the job that this offensive line is doing. Sure, they let Rocky Bernard get back in on Jay Feely on that last play in the last possession. But play after play, Ray Rhodes in this defense is blitzing and attacking Jay Feely, and time after time, the protection is buying him the moments he needs to get off a pass.
So Dilfer has thrown 2 interceptions, 2nd down and 4 from the 30, and the handoff to Travis Minor, who is grabbed around the ankles by Cedric Woodard. It's a gain of 2. He's to the 28. Another update from our studios in Craig Gumbel.
All right, Kevin, San Diego going for the series sweep of the Oakland Raiders. LaDainian Tomlinson from 6 yards out into the end zone, but Oakland has come back with a field goal. It's a 23-17 Charger lead. 7 minutes and change remaining in the 4th quarter, guys.
Boy, 23 points today for San Diego. You know, San Diego had scored 85 total points the last 2 games, Randy. Here it's a big 3rd down and long 2. They got to get to the 26 with Minor in the backfield. Feely will throw, and it's caught by Chambers, a sliding catch for a 1st down at the 21-yard line, right in front of Ken Lucas, picking up 6 on 3rd and 2. He's to the 22.
Look at this ISO. Chambers drives Lucas off. Feely gets him the ball. and Feely wasn't even touched. You're getting a blitz. You're getting no pressure. You're getting excellent protection.
Chambers 8 receptions today, now to the 22-yard line of Seattle. 1st and 10. Jamar Martin is the lead back for Minor on 1st and 10. Minor the call. And he is whacked in the middle by Kudavides. It's a gain of 1 to the 21.
So now if you're Seattle, you've got an offense with a little bit of momentum and a little bounce in their body as a group. And you're only up by 3 points for now. Lindo Murray's automatic from this distance. You can pretty much, if you're Mike Holmgren and Trent Dilfer, be guaranteed that Jim Bates and the Dolphins have got a tie on you right now. At least.
Base defense for Seattle. 2nd down and 9, and they need to get to the Seahawk 12. 2 tight ends. Feely, that's caught by the running back Minor. Kazavinsky brings him down after a meager gain of 2 to the 19-yard line.
Tough decision here now for Seattle. You know what Miami's going to do. Miami's going to bring in the wide receivers. They're going to have a running back or a tight end or both, and they're going to protect. What do you do if you're the Seattle Seahawks? You're in the red zone just inside the 20. Do you blitz and attack and try to get more pressure like you did last time on 3rd down against Feely?
It is 3rd and 7. Bulwer and Richard are in the defensive secondary for Seattle. 3 receivers now at the disposal of quarterback A.J. Feely, who throws underneath. Caught by Minor, grabbed by Kazavinsky, shy of the 1st down to the 16-yard line. A gain of 3 when he needed 7. 4th down. And they're going to bring out Lindo Murray, as you call, and try to tie the game with 8.5 minutes to play in regulation.
They brought 1 extra rusher, so they brought 5 against Feely. They didn't get close to him, but they had the coverage back there dropped in those zones to form that picket fence to prevent that 1st down.
Seattle has not blocked a field goal in over 5 years. A 34-yard try by Lindo Murray, who has missed the last 5 games with an injury, and he misses wide left.
He misses, and the first thing Jim Bates does, Kevin, he goes and screams at his defense and says, "We need another ball back."
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Remington Titanium Shavers, the Sony Grand Vega HD TV, high definition like no other, and by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
After Miami missed a field goal that could have tied the game, it's back to Seattle on 1st and 10, and Sean Alexander is brought down by Derek Pope in the middle. It's a gain of 2. For those of you expecting to see 60 Minutes, you're watching the NFL on CBS. It's the game between the Miami Dolphins and the Seattle Seahawks. Kevin Harlan alongside Randy Cross. Seattle on top by 3 points. 60 Minutes will be seen in its entirety next, except on the West Coast, where it will be seen at its scheduled time.
This game right now is in the lap of the Seattle offense, specifically that offensive line. Run the ball, eat up the clock, and take away some time.
2nd down and 8. Look at the weaving moves by the NFL's top rusher, Sean Alexander, in the secondary. Freeman knocked him off his horse. He's up to the 41. He picks up a winding gain of 17 yards and a 1st down.
That's all inside between the 2 guards, Gray and Hutchinson. Nice blocks inside, and just pure natural instincts by Sean Alexander. Seattle's offense right now should not throw a pass until they have to. Pound the ball, run the clock, wear down the defense, and go away with the ball.
Remember, Zach Thomas was injured earlier in the game with the hamstring, so they've replaced him 1st and 10 from the 41. And they give it again to Alexander. And again, he is brought down near the 48-yard line, tackled there by Freeman, gain of 7.
Remember, we talked about the keys of the game, the so what's new. Are you going to do something different, or the 1 if by land, 2 if by sea? Here's what's happened so far. You know, Miami's had a couple turnovers. They've had a lot of penalties, but in spite of that, they've hung. Seattle rushed the ball fairly well, passing it's been those 2 interceptions. They kept passing the ball because they couldn't run it in the second half, and that's what's kept Miami in this game.
2nd down and 3, and a quick handoff, and a quick tackle made by Skanina, and getting by midfield for a gain of a couple yards on the play was Max Strong. He picks up 3.
It's going to be 3rd down.
It will be 3rd down. This has been a horrible offensive second half for Seattle. First 4 possessions since halftime punt. In fact, 3 plays in punt. Intercepted the last time was Dilfer by Surtain. Now they start on a missed field goal by Miami, which could have tied the game. Both teams with 3 timeouts remaining.
But if you're Mike Holmgren and the Seahawks, despite that, this possession, this football game is about this possession. Jim Bates and his defense knows this possession is up to this play.
Keep in mind, though, Seattle has blown 2 fourth-quarter leads this season, holding on by 3 against 1-8 Miami. Seattle just took a timeout, 3rd down and 1. They're holding on by 3. The handoff goes to Alexander, who's hit and driven back by Pope. And a great defensive stand by the Miami Dolphins. Sam Madison was in there as a missile as well. It's 4th down, no gain on the play. Seattle's got a punt.
That play was about Romero, 94, Skanina, 90, Madison, that left side of the defense, or right side of the defense, bowed up against the strength of the Seattle Seahawks, which is their left side running with Sean Alexander, and they can't get it.
What a horrible second half offensive display by the Seattle Seahawks this afternoon. And they were humming the opening drive of the game. They got a touchdown pass to Jerry Rice and looked to be walking away. And Miami, with the litany of injuries, is stuck in. The punt by rookie Donnie Jones, and it's poor. And grabbed and put down quickly by the Seahawks, Nico Kudavides.
There's a flag that you probably don't want this. This is going to be holding against Seattle. I don't think you want him to re-kick this ball.
Flag is down at the 43.
Holding. Offense number 32 is declined. 1st down. Timeout.
Now Miami and Jim Bates in his head coaching debut with 3 timeouts and down by 3 and 4:33 to play.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Cisco Systems. This is the power of the network now. And by Chrysler. Inspiration comes standard.
Tonight on CBS, beginning with 60 Minutes, then Cold Case at the Hallmark Hall of Fame, back when we were grown-ups. That's tonight on CBS. After the punt, 30-yard line, 1st and 10. Feely throws, bobbled by Minor, almost picked off. Now on this series, Feely going up against 6 defensive backs for the Seahawks. 2nd down and 10. Coming up next here on CBS, 60 Minutes will be seen in its entirety, except for those of you on the West Coast, when it will be seen in its regular time.
Early on, Kevin, Seattle putting lots of pressure on Feely, but not lately.
2nd and 10, knocked away, beautiful coverage. Lucas, no yellow on the field. They were going for Chambers, 3rd and 10.
And just when I say that, they did it again.
Cochran came in the middle.
Yeah. Cochran gets a little whack on him, as well as Kazavinsky. That is an excellent defensive play by Lucas. That is around the offensive player, not through the offensive player.
Richard and Bulware, the 2 extra defensive backs, numbering 6. The receivers are Booker, Thompson, and Chambers. 3rd down and 10. They got to get to the 41. Feely, pocket crumbles, the throw. It's caught. And a great grab by Darius Thompson downfield at the Seattle 44. A pickup of 25. And a 1st down as Feely hobbles to get his team at the line.
The protection lasted exactly as long as it needed to. Jay Feely, how painful does that has to be to throw him down on that backside again?
They beat Vieira. And now at the 44 of Seattle, a handoff on 1st and 10, and Travis Minor being chased by Hamlin and bumped out of bounds by Trufant.
They're running the clock.
And the clock continues to tick. There's no gain. He got to the 44, 2nd down and 10.
Remind you, Miami has 3 timeouts. Seattle has 2 timeouts.
St. Louis and Seattle were tied coming into today. The Rams lost in Buffalo. Seattle holding on to a 3-point lead.
If Seattle can't beat a 1-8 team at home, they don't deserve to be a playoff team.
2nd down and 10 with Miner in the backfield, and Feely caught and grabbed, and this is Darius Thompson who takes it down the sideline, whacked out of bounds by Hamlin. Another first down. He's to the 25 and picks up 19 on the heels of a 25-yard pass completion earlier in this drive.
This is about the heart. This is about the protection. This is about the guts of A.J. Feely. Jim Bates has bought a football team in here, the Miami Dolphins, that I don't recognize. We've had a couple Dolphins games this year. I didn't see this team.
6 defensive backs remain. The 3 receivers sent out. 25-yard line, 1st and 10. And Feely going deep and looking for Chambers, who is double teamed by Lucas and by Biera. Incomplete, 2nd and 10. Like you said moments ago, again a reminder, 3 timeouts remaining for the Dolphins, 2 for Seattle.
And now, well, normally well within Olindo Mare field goal range, and story of A.J. Feely's life, when they don't hit you, you trip over them. It's just been that kind of a day.
There's Olindo Mare, who had a chance to tie it moments ago from 34 and missed. 2nd down and 10. Brian Gilmore is another receiver, the 3rd at the bottom of the screen. He has not played much today. Feely with some moxie and some confidence building, and he throws to Miner, who's hit by Kaczynski. He's to the 22 on a gain of 4. That'll bring up 3rd down and 6. They've got to get to the 15.
Now, not only is this a nice drive in a critical situation for the Dolphins against Mike Holmgren's Seahawks, this is a very nice job by A.J. Feely in this offense clockwise. They're very aware of where they are and what their situation is. There's no panic and there's no rush.
It's 3rd down and 6 from officially the 21. Feely and over the head of Gilmore, who is running, and it looked to be free. Brian Gilmore, who was waived by Arizona earlier this season. And he was working on Richard.
And A.J. Feely couldn't have been happy with his throw there.
Well, Seattle's defense holds him out, and now they'll try for 3.
He knows he had the chance. He'll do anything not to fall right now. None of that back.
Another chance to tie it for Olindo Mare from 39 yards away, and he got it. Tied at 17 with 2:20 to play. The 1-8 Miami Dolphins, with a long list of injuries, taking on first place Mike Holmgren and the Seattle Seahawks. Feely has come back injured to tie the game at 17 apiece.
And I'll re-mention Trent Dilfer's at quarterback for Matt Hasselbeck. Jerry Rice started for Corin Robinson. You heard today on the NFL Today that Corin Robinson's appeal was turned down on his suspension, which will probably start tomorrow. Okay? You've had changes all over this Seattle team. But you know what? This game hasn't been about Seattle so far, at least not in this 2nd half. The 2nd half, this game has been about A.J. Feely and Jim Bates' Dolphins.
Coming up right when this game concludes, except on the West Coast, 60 minutes. Trent Dilfer. And now let's look to what Dilfer's got ahead of him when they get the ball on the kickoff from Momare.
We talked about Jerry Rice, you know, in for Corin Robinson. He's been the guy today. He caught the 1 touchdown at the beginning of the game. He got the big pass later on in the 3rd quarter. This has got to be about the skill people making the plays, but more than anything else, it's about this offensive line taking control.
Mare's kickoff, and deep back is running back Kerry Carter from the 6-yard line. Tackled by Ian Badejo, among others, at about the 30-yard line. That is a return of 24 yards. With time permitting, coming up in the Subway postgame show. Join Greg, Dan, Shannon, and Boomer for all the latest NFL scores and highlights. That's next on the Subway postgame show. There is a player down for the Miami Dolphins. It may be, well, I hate to guess, maybe Tony Bua, who is a special teams player and a linebacker. I think it's Tony Bua.
It's 51, Tony Bua.
Okay. Arkansas's all-time leading tackler, and a guy who has made this team as a rookie 5th-round pick.
Seattle has 2 timeouts, 3 timeouts. It's 2:15, so they're going to get the 2-minute warning. So they have 2 in their pocket, but with a 2-minute warning, functionally they have 3 timeouts.
Well said.
And Bates in his defense, I mean, every chance he gets, his team doesn't huddle on the field, it huddles around him.
This performance really doesn't surprise either one of us, knowing that the emotion that usually is found with the bye week and a new coach and a new feel.
And the basic close nature of this league anyway.
Yes.
So we mentioned earlier about just Seattle, the feel of being around this football team. It's not a confident football team. It didn't even have a swagger when it led today. And it's almost like a fulfilling prophecy. When you don't have that swagger, you kind of go, well, they might hang with us. Well, you know what? They might only hang with you. They've tied you.
So from the 30, it's 1st and 10 for Dilfer, who has sent out 3 receivers. He gets a block from Womack, taking the place of Terry, and it's incomplete to Rice. He was covered by the safety, Sammy Knight. 2nd down and 10. Seattle has 2 more games here in a row at home. Most of their home schedule is winnable. Dallas, which is now 3-7. Arizona, which is 4-6, and a tough one here against Atlanta.
Well, if you can't beat a 1-8 team easy at home, which one of those is winnable?
Well, that's right.
Seriously. And they lost at Arizona. This will be the game they'll point back to at the end of the year, one way or the other, if you're a Seahawk fan.
Miami is in their base 4-3 defense. 2nd down and 10 for Dilfer. Out of the reach of Sean Alexander. There was some pressure up the middle, and it was applied by Jay Williams, and Taylor was in between the quarterback and the running back receiver. It is 3rd down.
Remember back to the first quarter, I mentioned if there's one play they've had a hard time running that I can't figure out why, it's the screen. Mike Holmgren football teams are usually very good screen teams. That was 2 bad passes in a row by Trent Dilfer. Now they put themselves in a position where they almost have to win this game throwing the ball, and it's right where they didn't want to be.
4 in the secondary for the Miami Dolphins. It is 3rd down and 10 from the 30-yard line for Dilfer. Down he goes, Dario Romero from nearby Eastern Washington with the sack. It's the 3rd authored by the Miami defense today.
Dario Romero with over 60 family members in the stands here in Seattle. If you got a Romero jersey on and you're way up high, time to celebrate.
We're at the 2-minute warning. We're at the 2-minute warning. Dilfer could not move the offense. They've got a punt again. Wes Welker is back for the Miami Dolphins in this tie game at the 35-yard line. And rookie Donnie Jones, whose last punt crawled for 20 yards, is back to punt again.
And if Donnie Jones gets Welker a returnable ball, he's going to get it near the 50, and that's going to put him within about 2 first downs of a Lindomari field goal range.
So here's the punt by Jones, and Welker waving for a fair catch, lets it bounce, and Marquand Manuel downs it at the 47. It's a 30-yard punt, not very good by the rookie, who's been up and off that practice squad 5 different times this season. And so now Miami with outstanding beginning field position with a hobbling quarterback taking him for a 1st down and 10. Tonight, 60 Minutes cold case in the Hallmark Hall of Fame movie Back When We Were Grown-Ups. That is tonight on CBS. 60 Minutes is next, except on the West Coast.
Only 29 seconds ran off the clock by Seattle. Now Miami's got the ball back. 3 timeouts. 2 first downs to first step for field goal range.
This is Minor on 1st and 10 from the 47, and he's brought down by Kazavinsky. It's a gain of 1. Clock continues to tick. 2nd down and 9.
No worry. No hurry. No pressing. You see what Lindomari has done with kicker's target line of Lindomari. I think you get the ball to about the 35-yard line, it's makeable.
48-yard line, 2nd down and 9 for Feely, who throws to McMichael, who stiff arms his way and goes out of bounds. Richard makes the tackle. 48-yard line of Seattle, and a gain of 4. Clock is stopped at 1:14. Dolphins, as Randy said, with 3 timeouts. So they've got to get to the 43 for a first down here. Big play, third down and 5.
It's about the protection right now for A.J. Feely. They've done it all second half. Try as Seattle might, they can't get to Feely.
Base defense, Booker, Thompson, and Chambers, the 3 wide receivers for Feely, who throws, and it's caught by Chambers, and he's got a first down. He beat Trufant at the 42-yard line, picking up 7 on third down and 5.
7 yards to a Lindamari 52-yard field goal and a timeout.
Miami burns their first timeout.
Look at the throw. Perfect spot. Backside number, away from the defensive back. Get your first down, take your timeout, and get one more first down, and then start padding it on.
9th reception today for Chambers. That is a career high. As you take a look at the season long of Lindamari, 47 yards.
And remember, Kevin, the Miami Dolphins are out here on the West Coast for the rest of this week. They play next week in San Francisco. They're going to fly tonight to San Francisco. How big is this to start your week off if you're Jim Bates and the Miami Dolphins? For all you've been through this week, you're playing a team many thought would be a Super Bowl type contender at the beginning of the season. They've disappointed themselves. They've disappointed the fans. And this Miami football team, led by that gutty quarterback, won't go away in the second half.
Still 3 receivers. Minor remains in the backfield with a couple of timeouts. 1st and 10, 41-yard line. Feely intercepted. Michael Boulware, the rookie. Touchdown. That is the 6th time a Dolphin quarterback has had an interception return for a touchdown. Jay Feely has had 4 picks returned the other way for scores.
Tell you what, the gravity and atmosphere in this stadium just went from 100 times normal to lighter than air in about 10 seconds.
That is the 4th interception in his rookie campaign, with the extra point up and in by Josh Brown. And Michael Boulware out of Florida State, who is a 2nd-round pick and played linebacker in college, looks every bit the part of a defensive back here.
Going back to Chambers, it was Chambers on a quick slant, and Michael Boulware from his safety position steps right in front of Chris Chambers. What a nice job, Boulware watching the quarterback, knowing the route, and jumping it. Jay Feely, that gutty quarterback I was just talking about, makes the mistake, and I think it hurts a lot more inside than anything else that hurts on the outside. Here's Chambers, watch the route. Then watch Boulware right there, jump the route. Just a perfect play for only a rookie. Brother of Peter Boulware out of Florida State.
Dolphin quarterbacks Fiedler and Feely, and it bears repeating, 6 interceptions returned for touchdowns this year. Feely has had 4 of them. And the field goal, this is, or rather the kickoff, and this is Wes Welker, who was tripped up by Maurice Morris on a 12-yard return. And he is out to the 28-yard line. 60 minutes is coming up next, except on the West Coast here on CBS.
You know, take a deep breath and realize, as happy as these people are here, there's 53 seconds left. Miami has 2 timeouts left. Jim Bates and the Dolphins aren't dead. The heart's beating slow, but they're not dead.
6 in the secondary for Seattle from the 29. 1st and 10 for Feely. Gets away from one, but not from Antonio Cochran. There's a fumble on the play, and it looks like Chad Brown has it. Brown gets up. Here comes the linebacker who didn't practice at all this week, and he has just sealed a Seattle win on the 4th Miami turnover, and they're in first place alone in the NFC West.
Well, Seattle, you're 6-4 because Jim Bates and Miami are 6 feet under. That will do it. Okafor hasn't had a sack in a couple weeks. Actually, since Wistrom went away, he gets the pressure. Pressure coming on the backside, stripping that ball out of there. Was Antonio Cochran.
Yep.
Brown picks it up. Boy, this defense came in with all sorts of new starters, all sorts of trouble, and when they really needed them, has this defensive unit come through for Mike Holmgren and the Seattle Seahawks. I'd be happy I won if I was Seattle, but I wouldn't be popping any champagne bottles.
Michael Boulware, a rookie, with a big-time interception for a touchdown. And the Seattle Seahawks escape, and that is a good word to use on this Thanksgiving Day Eve Sunday, with a 24-17 win over 1-8 now 1-9 Miami.
There's your NFC West standings, and realistically, you know, your bogey in this division might be 9 games. As inconsistently as these football teams, especially the top 2, have played.
Again, coming up tonight on 60 Minutes, you'll see a feature on Jim Carrey, then Cold Case and the Hallmark Hall of Fame back when we were grown-ups. That's all tonight on CBS.
Quick pressure from Okafor. The strip coming from the backside, and Chad Brown, a linebacker that didn't practice all week long. Not one practice this week did Chad Brown make. Doing what a veteran should do. And even in defeat, I've got to tell you, I haven't seen a quarterback play tougher this year, definitely, but in a long time, the performance that A.J. Feely put up here today.
Miami is now out of timeouts. The executive producers of the NFL on CBS are Sean McManus and Tony Petitti. Today's game was produced by Bob Bonsbach, directed by Suzanne Smith. The senior producer of CBS Sports and the NFL Today is Eric Mann. Let's go to New York and Craig Gumbel.
All right, guys, the final out of Philadelphia. The Eagles broke open a tight game in the second half. Donovan McNabb, 4 touchdown passes, 28-6. The Eagles moved to 9-1 on the season. Kevin and Randy, back to you.
Terrell Owens with another big day, and 9-1 is the best mark in the NFC. They lead the East. Seattle leads the West with a 24-17 win over the Miami Dolphins. It's a good game.
It really was. Jim Bates and his Dolphins have a lot to be proud of, but they just couldn't make the plays to win, and Seattle and Mike Holmgren's football team got a lot to work on.
Seattle 24-17, a winner. Now for Randy Cross, Kevin Harlan saying so long from the Pacific Northwest. Coming up tonight at 60 Minutes, followed by Cold Case. Then the Hallmark Hall of Fames, back when we were grown-ups. You've been watching the NFL on CBS.